You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Woo. There we go. All right. We are back after taking a week off. It is episode 23 of the Weekly Rogues Gallery. I'm your host, Iron Oxide. And we are short of Professor Savage Dad this week. He couldn't make it in. He was getting his vagina changed or something like that. But I am joined by, by your producer / co-host of the evening, JackTarLad. What's going on, man? How's your week?
I'm okay. I'm wearing my Trump solidarity patch. You know, not a lot of people are enjoying that. You know, and I've got him right up here as well. We're going to be talking about him a little bit later on. We've got a very special guest today, haven't we? Yeah, we're going to be bringing him on in a short while.
Pretty excited about that one, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but how have you been, mate?
You know, I took a week off, spent some time with the family, trying to get some stuff done around town. In the summer's not that fun. It's about 120 degrees here where we are. So, yeah. But otherwise,
you know what? The barometer reached at least 30 degrees in the direct heat here today. Oh, centigrade, wow. That is. I don't know what that is in old money.
I have no
idea. Yeah, there's something like in the 70s or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so we've been melting over here. Woo. Took me a whole 20 minutes to melt an ice cream earlier.
Well, we have central air conditioning, so fuck off.
I've got a fan.
Right.
It's blowing at me right now. I'm getting a blowjob off a fan. Anyway, why don't we bring in our first loveliest guest?
Sounds good. Who do we got in first? Nobody.
There she is. How you doing, Selena? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great. Brilliant. Anyway, moving on, we'll bring in Nemesis. How you doing, Nemesis?
Hi guys, how's it going? How's your week been?
Super primo.
Doing all right. Doing all right. Been checking out your morning shows when I could. Those are still pretty entertaining. How's your week been?
Aside from just losing my mind over completing the goddamn lead melody, no, it's not so bad. Not so bad. Although I did kind of slack off on yesterday's stream. I got a little lost in the weeds, explaining stuff and talking with people. But you make that connection, you get a new follower.
Nice.
Just one more for the cult, am I right?
Yep.
And how's Selena doing now that she's back?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing pretty well. I mean, you guys talk to each other hang on, not that way. You guys talk to each other all the time, yeah. But I mean, you've had Mama in town, haven't you? So we haven't really been able to chat much this week. So I hope you've been enjoying yourselves anyway.
Oh yeah, had a blast. It's been great. I don't want her to go.
And so next, I think we're going to bring in a Vagabond. How you doing,
cheers,
buddy?
everyone, and Sig Zion in the hell.
All right.
It's like, but yeah, just got off of work not too long ago and ready for the stream.
Right on. So last stream we were in together you were in the middle of the hurricane over there, right? And
yeah.
I think you were what'd you drink? A whole bottle of whiskey that night?
Yeah, Jim Beam.
Okay, right on.
And I still got the bottle here somewhere. Oh, actually, right here. So
memory.
Well, you
But, yeah,
survived
just-
the storm.
yeah, but just your friendly neighborhood Uncle Tom had some people angry at me during the week or whatever. I angered Black
Yeah,
Twitter.
you've been catching some flack, haven't you? You're a turncoat, apparently. They called you.
Yeah, so, but yeah, it's a normal day on Twitter, I guess.
And next in to the stage is our wonderful RedStrider. How you doing, RedStrider?
Doing good. Somehow I survived my first hurricane, and I survived also a presidential assassination attempt, so that's been fun. But now, it's
Funnily
actually
enough, he survived that too.
kind of interesting. Yeah, I know. My ear is intact though. Interesting. But what's actually
Mine's
even more fun is from now on, I'm chased by anyone from like the Secret Service, all I have to do is identify as a slopey roof, and they can't come anywhere near me.
Fair.
It is pretty
Yeah,
fair.
just hide all of your. This is a public service announcement for everyone. Hide all of your guns and drugs on your roof, especially if it's slightly sloped.
Mm-hmm.
And
Careful,
you'll never
careful.
find a thing.
They might start incorporating cows into their service.
Right.
Oh no!
Start
Or
using
FBI
that
as
as the canine unit.
demos.
My guns identify.
We lost all of you there for a second.
Oh no!
All the sound sort of went down for a second there. That was weird.
Oh, also, are we all surviving the bricking of all of our devices that happened today?
I never had any trouble with that.
Same.
I don't know what was
sweating
going on with
coming
that.
home.
I apparently it's just for business though. So
Really? Okay.
Sucks
I
for
couldn't
them.
open
Yeah.
my fridge.
I know they
That's all right.
canceled
You didn't
most
need
of
to
the
eat
flights
anyways.
here. That's about the extent of it.
Do Brits eat? They're allergic.
There's
to flavor.
nothing in my fridge. Everything's so expensive.
true.
But
You-
anyway,
you did lose
shall-
How much can beans and toast cost? Come on.
Beat me to it.
You'd be surprised in today's economy. Anyway, shall we introduce our lovely guest, Iron?
Absolutely. Before we do, let's take a quick moment. All right. Yeah, go right ahead. I was just making sure
I was like,
everything
quick
was good
moment of
going,
silence.
Ryan.
What? Did he die on us?
So we do have a special guest here. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on the stage. And Matt Bahr, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's what you was trying to line up the claps. How you doing anyway, Matt?
Right.
Oh, your sound's muted.
You're muted.
How about now?
There
There we
we go.
Matt
go.
Bahr, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
So, just in case anybody out there doesn't know who you are you, Matt Bahr?
I am Matt Bahr. I'm a commercial artist, and I'm the co-creator of Rock and Roll Ninja with Chuck Dixon and your boy Zach. And am currently the co-creator of Rock and Roll Ninja Part 2 that we're working on. So that's what I'm doing. So there's two cool separate things. There's Matt Bahr, the person who's been doing comic skate stuff for the last 3 years, and then there's Matt Bahr, the commercial artist, and that's about 20 years of just commercial art grinding. Got a couple of Emmy nominations. You know.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
Chilling. Working hard, you know what I'm saying? Grinding, guys, grinding.
Careful, Strider. Don't jizz your pants yet.
Oh, okay.
We got a whole show ahead of us, man.
No. We want to go ahead and let's pull up this real quick. There we
Pull
go.
up.
We can't say that now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right. All right. So this is the website, ladies and gentlemen. Robo6.net. Matt Bahr here.
Yeah.
And
Sorry. Yeah. There we go. It's me controlling it, isn't it? Because I kind of got confused for a little second there. Who's
you
controlling
got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. So, robo6.net, if you want to go over there and check some of this out. What's the sequential art part about?
Sequential art is basically just like interior arts, you know, panel artwork or storyboards. So all of this is stuff that I've done in and around Comicsgate. Last of the Seekers, I did the pencils for that, and then these are all some of the inks. Some of the pages from Rock and Roll Ninja, the first one.
Freaking
and that was
thick is what it is.
Like 100 pages. So that was 100 pages, full story. You know what I mean? Like you see the boys, then you see the boys bail, and you know you see this. And this was done with Riot Press. I penciled it and then I handed it off to PTP, and he inked it and had, I think, Kelsey Shannon color it. But that was fun. That was for Rambo, so I worked on the Rambo book. So I did like 6 pages of the Rambo book. Because my style is kind of cartoony, so they were like, "Hey, there's this kind of a Vietnam joke. We're gonna like insert Rambo into the joke, and then we'll have you illustrate that, and then that'll be like a little humorous segue in the Rambo First Kill book." So I was like, "Yeah, sign me up."
So this scenario goes into kind of the anime look.
Yeah. Like the rest of the book is fairly serious, and so your boy Zach got more realistic artists to draw those segments, which totally made sense, you know. But since this had a little lean into the jokey joke, he was like, "Do you want to work on it?" And I was like, "Do I? Shit."
And of course, this is from the illustration section of your website as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic artwork.
That's from the Uni. That's an Uni cover. This was some Cyberfrog trading card artwork. That was Absolute trading cards. That was Rift Rider trading. Yeah,
Sorry.
So no, that's cool. So this was a triptych. Is that the Smarty Pants word for it? Where it's like 3 images. So this was like printed, and then it got split into 3 cards. So you have like a villain on one side, then you have the main hero in the middle, and then you have same thing with Rift Riders. No, that's cool. Same thing with Rift Riders. It's like a whole scene, but like, you know, the cards are split up. But if you get all 3 cards, you can put them together.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. That's I did for Private American for Mike Barron's book. So that's inside. That's the toy design for Last of the Seekers.
Sweet.
Okay,
that's Kami Mark's book. That's a wraparound cover for Kami Mark. His like Krishna Kid, or whatever it is. That's the Starlight Cats with Shane Davis. So I did that, and then he let me do a trading card for him. So that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
This
so I've
is-
worked with
is
a lot
that
of
a-
people. This is all my comic ski stuff. That's another wraparound for Kami Mark.
Wow, look at that.
It's a lot of detail, man.
Yeah, I was going to say just the amount of detail in it.
Is
Fantastic.
Christian Kid, is that a Hindu-inspired series?
Yeah. He kind of took the whole
Interesting.
the Hindu mythology and kind of manga-ized it and animated it. So the
hell
interior has like this kind of cool, anime manga style, and I just kind of like riffed off of that.
Wow. That's
I was
incredible.
like, yeah, all right, what is that? So it's like a giant snake god with like another guy who like has a cobra whispering in his ear. He's like just like describing this shit to me, and I'm just like, just fucking tell me what you want me to draw, dude.
And Hindu mythology is metal. That's awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah. There's like nuclear weapons. There's like flying shit. It's crazy.
Just from the bit I know from playing Smite, like that, it's brutal.
That was
for American Gods, yeah.
Ethan's Girthy Stallions.
Yeah.
That was like done earlier, but this is Mavericks, and then this is
Oh man,
a monkey. This came from a skateboard deck that I did for a company called Instant Winner.
oh
out in New
okay.
York City.
Oh wow.
Hey, that's me when I grow up.
This is a little sneak peek to a personal project that I'm doing. That's about, I like old man stuff. Like for like I want to do like old man doing stuff. Like I want to do like an old man ninja, and then I wanted to do like an old man werewolf story. Where there's like there's an island off the coast of Wales, and there's this group of people who are doing like this like survivalist TV show. You know what I mean? That show like Alone, where they're like, hey, we're gonna use this. Yeah, we're gonna use this island to film Alone. Whoever wins, they'll get like a spot on Discovery Channel. Like, but they don't realize that like this island is like used once a month by this old man to turn into a werewolf.
Oh,
Now I can think of
that's
Jack.
pretty cool.
All I can think of is
That's
Jack
right.
TarLad.
So it's like
he called me
he's
like one of your old men.
So he kind of like this old man. He's
today.
like, all right, bye, dear, love you, honey. And he gets 2 sheep and he gets them on the boat and he takes them over. He over to the island, takes his clothes off, folds it up, maybe hits his pipe a little. Right when he's starting to turn, he hears a snap and he turns around and there's a fucking guy with a camera. Like, what the fuck? And then he starts like turning, and so like nobody can get off the island. They try to call, so that's something that I'm working on. But,
I'm 100% sold on every word.
it all
said.
happens in one night. It all happens
Right.
in like one night. It's just like, surviving this fucking old man werewolf.
Oh,
There's my Shane. Frog G cover that I did. That's like the line art for this monster thing.
Man.
And they were like, "Do you want tentacles?" And I was like, "What if they were like these like super articulated fingers instead of tentacles?" Because I was like, tentacles are a little played out. What if they were just like, fingers with like 8 digits in them, kind of a thing, Exactly right. I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds fucking creepy. And they're all
They
gooey.
remind me of
They got goo
scorpion
on.
tails.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Wreath and Pain. That's something for them. Like a giant monster and another thing.
You've just got such a catalog here.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's a poster that I did for a band called Perpetual Groove. So
This
I
one here,
love
yeah,
to
sorry.
do like screen printed movie or not movie, but music band posters and stuff.
Mhm.
Perpetual Groove, Widespread Panic, Flaming Lips.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I love doing that shit. That's another Perpetual Groove one.
Oh, that's awesome.
So imagine that printed on like foil paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
it was dope. It's dope.
Wow.
This
Mermaid.
style is like, it's a big throwback. I go to the comic shop like at least twice a month now, and this is a style you don't see anymore.
no, I
The
can't
amount of
remember last-
detail.
That
that
was
Scythe on
that
the
was
bottom
for
right?
somebody at the
Throwback
side
to
of
that.
somebody's
Oh,
boat.
love that. Oh, that's
For the side of
legit.
a boat.
Yeah. So like this guy was like, "Hey, can you do this design for me?" And I'll have it like, they do boat wraps and car wraps. So like I did the design, and he had his boat wrapped with this design. So on the side of it, it looks like a giant fucking pirate like ripping out of the side of his boat.
Definitely
Nice.
based out of South Carolina.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's based out of Charleston, so it was just like,
course.
yeah, buddy.
I love
And on the other side, there's like a cannon with like two other pirate like skeletons like holding a cannon.
Oh man. Like this artwork just gives me like old school Wizards of the Coast vibes, back when they were still good and not freaking woke as crap.
Well, again, that the amount of detail, it's something you would see more in the 90s, like when the art and comics was still good.
Yeah. Freaking golden age of animation.
Is that Scythe? Does anyone know what that is?
You know what that is? That is, I just see everybody doing like crab tanks, and I was like, all right, let me go do my crab tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, let me do a crab tank. Here we go.
Yeah, there's a board game with where it's set in a they call it a diesel punk world, and it has a lot of mechs that look like that. It's like a different version of World War One. It reminded me a lot of that. It looked amazing.
Reminded me of Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Metal Gear.
A bunch of Russian gunship doing here.
So how does that bring you? How does this all bring you into sort of the opposite side of Comicsgate then?
The
Talent.
opposite. Oh
yeah, like so you get what I mean, because it seems like you've worked with a
still
lot
like- I
of people
still
who
jam
don't
on, like,
necessarily
I'm still
jam with you
jamming
anymore, as you're
on
saying.
what I believe Comicsgate was when it started. I think I'm kind of like anti-Ethan and what Ethan is doing, as opposed to like Comicsgate as a whole. And I think he like tries to do that. It's like, oh, he's attacking me, he must be attacking all of us, and it's no. I don't like what you're doing, and a lot of what he's doing is kind of personal between him and I.
I have a question. When did Ethan Van Sciver become the de facto leader of the whole Comicsgate movement?
I was wondering.
I thought it was just a complete, outright, standing up for the atrocities that were happening to the entire comics industry, with agendas being forced down our throats, and we're losing quality over actual good storytelling.
Right, like a punk rock counterculture group of artists and writers doing their thing,
and a lot of the backers,
the
the original people were like, people who were fans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was people who were buying the comics were like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, but how did he end up as like this de facto leader of Comicsgate?
Well, he has like some of the biggest campaigns, and he owns the trademark to Comicsgate at this point. So
really? Didn't know that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And he got it from this guy named Preston Poulter. And there was like this big back and forth, and Preston Poulter was kind of like listed off as like a degenerate who got like pegged by his wife and shit. And Comicsgate needs to be saved from degenerates and shit. Like that was like how it was being sold. It was like, we got to save it from these degenerates because that's what fucked up mainstream. And now they're here in Comicsgate so we gotta save it from these people. I was like, yeah, what the fuck?
The irony.
Oh, how the irony isn't lost in what you just
bro.
current state of the
it is.
situation.
And how many years ago was that?
3
Really?
3 years ago? Yeah, maybe less, because he had like the whole hat and T-shirt campaign. So he had the hat and T-shirt campaign, and he was like, all right, I'm going to build a war chest, and we're going after Preston. So now that I can do Comicsgate hats and T-shirts, that's what I'm going to do, and we're going to, but I'm not going to guard it. But as soon as he got it, he was like kind of like guarding it and like telling certain people not to use it and shit. And I don't know, it just gradually happened. Like more and more people left to like question him. Yeah. Right. So what you have left are people who are just totally going down with whatever he says.
The people who were with it became disillusioned and just went to go actually make good shit. Meanwhile, everyone else who's still sticking around is basically just blown, sucking up all the farts that they think are sunshine.
Yeah.
It's clearly
Kelsey
obvious when you see
Shannon's
people's
or the
opinions
the
change.
Reenies are like, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm out. Like, this is insane. I don't need to be treated this way.
Yeah.
Well, go on, Iron. What was you going to say?
Oh well, I forgot now. So go ahead.
Well, I was sort of when I said the other side of the Comicsgate stuff. So one of the things that I saw the other day that you'd posted was this thing about calling Vito Comicsgate royalty.
Yeah.
So I don't understand anything about like Ethan and Vito. So I like if you could explain a little.
So I got to
bit
run
about-
this. Okay. All right.
Oh.
So think that. So this is clearly like some deep like Comicsgate shit. But so Ethan has a show in Comicsgate called Comicsgate Kings. It's a very select group, right? Like to be on Comicsgate Kings, CG Kings, you have to have worked for the big two. Which seems legit.
Marvel
Like
DC.
that seems like a cool kind of a like parameter or whatever the fuck you want to call it, to be on this show, because then you're getting kind of a different perspective from these guys. So you had like the show of like Graham Nolan and Billy Tucci and people of that caliber. You know what I mean? Like you had people who worked for the big two.
Like some inside
Some
baseball. I guess.
Yeah. So some people got a little poopy pants, but I was like, no, that seems legit, And so as people have been like kind of backing out of CG and just like kind of quietly leaving, he's started like eroding that standard. So it's just like, oh yeah, like Vito, you're on here. Like once you hit 10,000, you're suddenly royalty. You're suddenly CG royalty. So like it like switched up, within a year from you need to work for the big two or to you got to make 100K with your book, and it was just fucking gross because he's a fucking pedo weirdo, you know what I mean? And just like
Is his
promoting
book
him
even
is just
out?
fucking gross as
I
shit.
was
No.
going to say,
It's
do you
not
even
it's
have
not
to
even
put
out.
any comics out to become Comicsgate anymore or
Make some
Comicsgate
money.
royalty?
Apparently you don't. Like I would think there are some people who became Comicsgate royalty, like Mandy and I think Eric Weathers through like, well, Mandy, I don't know. I don't want to say, but Eric Weathers,
We know.
I think a
Weathers,
few of us
like-
have a few ideas.
We are very
A few-
aware.
Eric Weathers has been on like multiple, campaigns. He's had multiple campaigns and fulfilled them. So he's, nobody's going to argue, whether or not Eric Weathers gets a little bit of it. But
Sir,
I can
sir,
smell
this
the
is there are children on this app.
amen.
You promise?
This is insane. I mean,
Yeah.
Yikes.
The fact
I
that
only
either
know who
one of
these
these
people are
guys-
because of Ethan. I blame I know that sounds dumb,
Sorry.
but I blame Ethan for knowing who these fucking people are because I didn't know who they were before.
Yeah, I knew who Vito was because Eric July would used to do Monetize Your Haters, and he's been on a few times. Funny enough, this is before even Eric even had his comment out, and Vito would try to advertise that Super Killer comment that's still not out. And
It looks so bad.
yeah, so I mean, I've been following everything because like I used to follow Comicsgate and everything, and like I was down for everyone, and then now it's kind of like anyone who's not EBS or Eric, and mind you, I like Rippaverse. I enjoyed reading them or whatever. Say whatever you want with that, but it's like it overshadows everyone else because that's all that's talked about, like either negatively or positively. And it's like I can barely see any other campaigns, and I'm not trying to watch certain people's streams because I ain't trying to support them or whatever.
Yeah. Ethan has like the largest stream in Comicsgate, and then he's just decided to turn it into a vendetta against Eric July. Like, hey, all of Comicsgate, we're gonna go after Eric July, and a lot of people are like, I didn't sign up for that. Like that's crazy. And like who he's like working with to go after Eric July, just it gets crazier and crazier.
At this point,
Holding
Eric
a
July is
purple
probably
jump.
just like, thanks for the
Take a
free
photo.
publicity.
Yeah.
Your hate isn't what's making everything break records every time I release something
Your
new.
hate
I
has
feel
made
like
me
it's
powerful.
like okay, like Ethan did a cover for him. Eric was like, "Hey, thanks." Ethan was like, "Hey, I got some advice." Eric was like, "Hey, I don't fucking want to hear it." Maybe Ethan is like poopy pants for a week or two. Maybe does like a couple of streams of like being poopy pants about it. But he's like almost at like 90 streams
Yeah.
Yeah.
complaining about this guy. And it's like, it's not even funny anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
How many
it's fucking
streams does he do a
bizarre.
week?
Say?
Well,
How many streams does he do a week?
I don't know.
Is it
Almost
just
every day.
weekly
A
or?
lot.
No,
Mm.
it's almost a daily thing. The thing,
Oh, okay.
like, from what my observations of everything, because I used to watch everyone pretty much, within the comics, in the comics realm. I didn't know who Dick Masterson was until this whole thing was, and so so everyone after Rippaverse, well, ISOM #1 came out, everyone did their reviews, mostly positive. Even EVS gave it a positive review. Then you have Dick Masterson, who's friends with Vito. He does his review, but if you actually look into his review, it's obviously he didn't read the book. You could say what you want about the art in certain aspects or whatever, but you could tell if you read the guy's review, it's like he got total situations in the book wrong and stuff. So Eric's like, well, why I'm already successful with this first book, why I'm going to listen to this guy? And so he's just writing an angry review at me because he hates me. EVS goes, well, even someone hates you, it's a valid review, and that's where the first point of contention was.
Yeah, I saw that on Flashcast. That's where the obvious argument had kind of spawned from that I caught.
Yeah, but Eric goes, well, I don't have to listen to everyone's review. So Dick's review, I'm just going to pretty much ignore it. It's his review is just based on hate because he hates me, and it's not conductive of advancing my career or whatever, right? EVS, on the other hand, is like there's no such thing as an invalid review or critique or whatever, and so that's how that started. And then, so
like
then
a night
after
letter,
that,
right?
Yeah, so the night letter thing,
yeah.
Night letters.
and what that came about is after that Dick Masterson stuff, right? The whole I get, a lot of people stream on each other's stream, so I guess there was maybe a silent agreement or whatever agreement that like, hey, don't talk about other people on my stream that like I'm friends with or whatever. Do that on your own or something like that. And so that's the standard that was happening. But Eric was like noticing Ethan's just having all these people that just hate him, just talk whatever trash about him. So it was an obvious like difference. He sends his letter like, hey, I noticed this is going on, and if it keeps going on, I'm just gonna reciprocate the same thing you're treating me, right? And that was pretty much it. It wasn't nothing that serious or whatever. And supposedly they had a phone call.
It never gets old.
Supposedly they had a phone call and like hashed it out, and that should have been the end of it or whatever. Then EVS decides for like whatever around when ISOM 2 is getting ready to relaunch out, releases the DM or whatever, and then goes on this whole hissy fit that Eric was threatening him and shit. And you read it, to me, it doesn't sound like a threat. Just like, hey, I'm reciprocating the same way you treated me or whatever, and that's it. Move on. And now
Nobody interpreted it as a violent intent except for EVS and his toadies.
Yeah,
He didn't either. That was just
it was deliberate. It was deliberately
escalate.
He angled it. Yeah, he escalated and then angled it to kick off some drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not going to listen to me, then I'm gonna milk him for drama.
Yeah,
make him listen. That's a great strategy.
And I think I've got quite a few points that bother me the most about all this, and the least of which is that anybody doesn't like Eric July, but I could give a shit. Have all the criticisms you want about it. That's fine. Shit on it. Shit on everything about it. It's when shitting on it becomes the only thing you can really think of when you think Comicsgate anymore. That's where I started to bow out. I didn't think it was fair to anyone else involved in Comicsgate because Comicsgate doesn't really stand for anything creative, only the overwhelming critique, if you could even call it critique at this point, of somebody else's shit. Now that's one issue I have. The other is the new faces of comics. Dick Masterson. Who the fuck? What do these guys have to do with comic books? I don't give a shit that Vito's got some shitty ripped off crowdfunding thing he's been nursing for the last 4 years? 3, I think you said, Vagabond.
Yeah.
And then you've got all these other just new entities that are representing something that should be about comic books that have nothing to do with it. You've got your Riley, Mint Salad, even Ethan Ralph to a point, which that's just somebody I try to avoid at all costs.
Katie did.
So
I mean,
the problem,
Frog Tony. It's just like, who the fuck are these people just like riding this like Eric July grift, like this Eric July hate grift?
Well, here's the
that
funny
was an
thing
opportunity for Ethan to be like, I'm not gonna. That was an opportunity that Ethan missed by keeping those people at arm's length and be like, you're only here to drama farm. I'm not interested in that. But Ethan is also just only there to drama farm. So that's where
he absolutely wants these people to be doing this for him.
Yeah,
I mean, he went on Kiwi Farms. I don't know if you guys go into that pit of scum and villainy.
Why aren't you attacking him?
Cesspool of a site if I've ever seen one. I frequent it regularly. But he hopped on there and was like, "Hey guys, like, how come nobody's talking shit about Eric July? What's up? You should be talking shit about Eric July." And people were just like, "Get the fuck out of here, dude! fuck out, bro!" Like you could just see it, like, "Fuck out of here, dude! Fuck you, Frog." Fuck you, at Frog. Just like, fuck you. I mean, it was wild. And then he's never been back.
Because it's like a little high school or middle school girl that do something like that.
Yeah, it's like, let's talk about how much we hate this person.
With War Campaign, it's all like blame War Campaign. He was like trying to use them to do all of his shit.
Yeah,
with the whole like John Delarose's dad and shit was just like, yo, here's JDA's dad's real name. Like, make it some fake accounts and go after him. Like, what the fuck, bro?
What?
Yeah.
I'm learning so much today. I mean,
dude, it's wild.
And there was the hell out of me, but now
you should go.
I'm just sipping on this tea.
I'll drop a link to Wiggles because Wiggles like showed a whole bunch of the receipts of just like, here's the DMs. This is real. You know, this is him asking for shit. It's like, wow. And a lot of it I didn't even know about until recently. You know, up until recently, it was like, oh no, War Campaign's the boogeyman. War Campaign did this. War Campaign did that. Don't even bring them up. Okay, that's how bad they are. But then you like start realizing, like, no, they fucking know dirt about you. Like they know that you're a fucking total fucking scumbag. So. Yeah, so I was like, yo, Ethan, like, why are you hanging out with these fucking weirdos? Like, why are you bringing in all these like fucking piss pornographers and shit? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And it's like,
not exaggeration, by the way. That's not hyperbole either. That's literally the truth.
Right. I'm not joking. Right. And so I was like, why are you bringing all these fucking weirdos? Like, why? Like, why? And it's like, now I'm just like, oh, that's why. Because you're fucking down for it. Like, you're just as fucking like weird about it. I don't know, man. And I hate that because it suddenly makes me sound like judgmental about it. But it's like, I don't know. I just want to make cool comic books that are not like
well, the problem
degenerate.
Is,
you know what I mean? Like you can make like your horny dog comics, you know, you can make that stuff, but like there was like a certain idea that Comicsgate was like
about comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be clear, Riley and Mint Salad do not make a comic book about urination pornography or golden showers. They actually do this. They do that's
because
their
it's like,
thing.
Hey, submit. What do you have any websites you want to produce? My OnlyFans where I get pissed on and it's a guy with a little penis like jerks off on me. Check me out there. Okay, do you have any comics? No. Okay, thanks.
But I'll cosplay as yours to get paid on, I guess.
I mean, she draws, I guess. I've seen her draw somewhat on some of like clips from Dick's show.
It's
but
really sad, man.
It's not even
really
comic.
sad.
Well, the thing is, it's about comic books, but it's not about their comic books. It's not about propping up the industry. It's not about creating an environment where a bunch of people with different ideas, different styles can all belong and kind of support each other and be a part of it. It's about somebody at one person's comic books that is not even associated with their group, where we hate him. That's we hate his comics. That's all it is now, unfortunately.
And they've just they've just kind of escalated shit to the point where it's like I don't even want to bother with Comicsgate at this point. I mean, he was at that Eric July event, like screaming Comicsgate at people.
We were there.
We were there.
We were there.
I was there.
Yeah.
That video of his first walk was mine.
Yeah,
holy
I have
shit.
another
You know
video
what I mean?
that
So it's like, so you're sitting there, you're trying to drink your beer, enjoy this a moment, and this guy is out on the sidewalk yelling Comicsgate and shit.
Okay, so this is man, this is
it's
how crazy
up,
it was.
Man.
I get dropped off to get in line because the other guys are going to pick up some other folks, and I seen him there with the cape. I thought he was. I didn't see the front of him. I just saw the back of him. I thought he was just some random guy hanging out or whatever, right? And so I get in, everyone's having a good time. I go in line to meet Eric, the Saska sisters or whatever. You know, we're all hanging out, drinking, partying, taking pictures with everyone and stuff, having a blast. And like the line for Eric was just like, it just wrapped around the inside. So it was like,
that's awesome. Good for him, man. I mean,
you got to wait a minute to like get to him. You know,
it was that way all night too.
Yeah, and it was just nonstop,
right?
People buying comics or whatever, and so then someone's like, "Hey, you hear? Strider's the one that told me. He's like, hey, you know, Riley's here." I was like, "Oh, for real?" It's like you're not serious. So I went out and I see him and Mint at the window and stuff, like leaning on it and like tapping on it and shit,
like and, orphan kids and shit, like looking at people like.
And
outside of bakery, like
I have some more.
Yeah, I think the best description, they were like a homeless version of Boris and Natasha. The way they were bickering with each other, like, no, get in there and tape them, you dummy. All right, boss, stop it.
So there was an outside little bar hangout. Yeah, there was an outside bar area, and like you got the few bartenders there, like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and like most people there, they're kind of normies to this whole thing, so they didn't even know who they were. They were just like just two random weird people just standing here and shit. And like,
well, here's the crazy part is they didn't know who they were by name, but they knew them by their behavior. So all we had to do is mention Eric July's gravestone and pissing on ice on Eric July's grandfather's gravestone and doxing his warehouse, and they knew. All of them, they're like, "Oh, that guy, okay," but they had no idea who these people were.
Oh, it's that fat piece of shit.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, really, him?" Like it was just visions of disgust because they knew him by behavior, but they didn't know him by name.
Dude, I had like no interaction with that guy at all, and I'm sitting on the CG Slum show one night, and it's like I don't know how long ago. But I'm sitting there and we're watching. I think we're watching Vito or something, and we're watching a Vito clip. And somebody like says the word pedo, but I don't think anybody actually called him a pedo. You know what I mean? They were just like, "Is he like a pedo? Like, what's the story with him?" Like that was like kind of like the talk at that time.
Yeah,
and so then so we're just watching that shit. Then. Riley and Mint and Frog and all the new CG people, they then EFAP us, right? And so Riley is like, "What did Matt Bahr just say that Vito is a pedo? That's it. I'm gonna fucking rape him. I'm fucking coming for him." And so he he was like, "Hey man, I'm serious. I'm gonna rape you. I'm gonna do crimes against you, and people are gonna laugh." And I'm gonna fucking come for you. Like, he did.
I
like,
wish I could say this surprised me, but it didn't at all. Yeah,
he like said this whole like multiple like shit before I could like catch it, right? And it was like, all right, block, right? I just blocked him.
Mm-hmm. Smart,
right? And so I didn't say anything, so I just like blocked him, and then he starts fucking spurging out online. right? And I'm in the comic book like the CG green room for Ethan's show, and I'm in there, and Mint is in there, and Mint starts fucking spurging out in there about me blocking him and how I need to unblock him and how it would be best if I unblocked him. Right? She starts losing her shit, right? And I'm like, fuck this. I block her. Right? I'm like, because I'm not gonna argue with like an autistic girl. Like if this is like true, like this is like this woman is being sexually exploited. It's fucking gnarly. It's fucking crazy. Right. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna engage with you at all. So that's a block. Right. So then she like lost her shit some more. She spiraled up some more and contacted Ethan. And Ethan was like, hey man, you blocking her, kicked her out of the green room. I'm gonna have to go ahead and kick you so that she can get back into the green room. And I was like, all right, man. And so he fucking kicked me out of the green room so he could bring her back in. It was fucking wild, dude. I was like, all right, dude. I see how
just to be clear, he kicked you, an artist, out of the green room to make room for an autistic OnlyFans model that does pee porn with her abusive boyfriend who actually doesn't do anything with comic books. He just
it sounds crazy,
yells
right?
At people online. It does sound crazy.
Yeah, because I was like, nah, man. I'm like, I'm not unblocking them. I'm like, that shit's crazy. Like the rape stuff is crazy because they they did a video where they went to Walmart to buy a rape kit to get me. Like they were like putting like fucking duct tape and shit, and like they're like doing all this stuff. And then they did a rapemattbahr.com, and then they relinked that to my YouTube channel. And then they did and then Mint was like, well, that's not really working. He's not really getting triggered. She then like switched it to like Matt Bahr is a rapist. Yeah. Matt Bahr is a rapist, and it's certified he's a rapist. And it was like, what the fuck? And so then they started doing Matt Bahr is a rapist.com and then linked that back to my YouTube. And it was just like, what the fuck is this? It was just like, it was ridiculous, dude. And it was like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't have blocked him. And it's like, you're fucking, this is insane.
And it's like an unhinged bomb.
Ethan was just like constantly like, Ethan would like jump onto their stream while they were talking about raping me and be like, hey guys, how you doing? You having a great Monday? All right, bye. See ya. And then bounce out, and it was
hey guys, like, we raping Matt Bahr today? Okay.
yeah. You got that duct tape? Oh, don't forget you get your rope. Okay, see ya.
Frick on a stick.
Your elephant tranquilizer.
So that's why I was like, what the fuck, bro? So yeah, that was kind of like my like first start cracking away from like Ethan was like, man, that's fucking crazy.
Don't blame you.
That's insane.
I
didn't be honest, I watched a lot of the I am pretty familiar with it. That's kind of what I saw unfolding, and that was what really did it for me with Comic Skate as a whole. For a while, it's like, okay, I kind of know Ethan's a weird fucking piece of shit now.
And it's like all for super chats.
There's a lot of other creators that I want to support, but
he's like called it out. It's for super chats. Like they send him like thousands of dollars in super chats every month, and in membership sponsorships or whatever. They're paying for sponsorships, so they're paying for stuff. So he's not going to say anything. It's pretty gnarly.
He's now duty bound to his audience because that's what they're paying him for. So he can't course correct. He's not. He'll go broke if he has to come to Jesus meeting. So he can't.
That's the problem too. Is he traded the comic book artists for these degenerate stuff, right?
That have nothing to do with comic books.
Yeah, because what happened is
fucking crystal clear.
He gets thousands of views for Trash Cast, right? And he did a drawing stream. All them thousands views only turned to like 700, right? And didn't even pass 800 because most of those people aren't interested in art itself. They're here for the drama stuff. And to be fair, when Eric was doing the monetize your haters, most of his views was on those monetize your haters streams. He didn't do a monetize your haters stream, it was the same couple thousand people. He still had good numbers, but it wasn't to the extreme because drama draws people. That's why there's Jerry Springer and all those. If you watch Jerry Springer, like when he first started, was like a normal talk show ghost guy until it came to the weird and wacky, crazy nonsense. But so that's the problem, is like there's no incentive to finish his comic book if there's, hey, I'm getting super chats just talking trash about other people or whatever.
I mean, that's probably the same with Vito. He can keep marketing it for years on end, never having to worry about finishing it because the money still trickles in.
Well,
he can't afford
they
the
are
subscription to
meme
Crawl Club
gold at the moment. They are absolute meme gold. They have become the lolcows of the Comicsgate sort of section, and it's all been quiet on the Western Front for a good few weeks, and I'm a little bit sad about that because I need to create some more memes. You know what I mean?
I would like to.
I have expected something
to death, and with what was the coping and seething.
You see the one meme where I had him getting milked, where it was like, I
want to point out the throne for King Lolcow is up for grabs because Boogie got fired from Lolcow Live. For faking cancer.
Yeah, we should start off in the chat. Who's going to be the new number one
Ethan's
locale to replace Boogie? Is it going to be EVS, Ethan, Ralph, or Riley?
Well, actually, speaking of the chat, something that we did forget to do right at the beginning of the show was say hello to the chat. Right. So maybe we should just do a quick hello to everybody in the chat. Welcome, everybody. How are you all doing? Our guest today I never got to ask you, is it Matt Bahr or Matt Bahr?
Matt Bahr. Yeah.
Matt Bahr, okay. Excellent. So, yeah, our guest today, who I don't even know his name properly, Matt Bahr, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's just say hello to you guys in the chat. We've got CJ here. He said that he was writing at the beginning along with someone called Vagabundo DeVaughn. Don't know.
Never heard that asshole.
Yeah, I wonder who that is.
This guy, Jake Tard.
It seems like an Uncle Tom.
I don't know.
JackTarLad.
There's Orion and Selena. Into the real chat, we've got Master Hobo, greetings from the homeless shelter, Exwa coming in, and there's our own Matt Bahr there.
Oh hey,
yeah,
he's here, isn't he?
He is here somewhere. I've seen him, and our own RedStrider, of course.
That was a reference to Selena's empty chair.
And Diana Gardner, fantastic to see you. Who else we got in here? We have we've done Master Hobo. We've got Michael Ferraro. Hello, Michael. And
Michael,
James Hurley. Outer Pangea, welcome to the show. Shaka Zulu, good to see you, Shock. Welcome. We've got our Hellhound, our very own Hellhound. He's been on the show a few times. Who else we got in here? Just trying to scan through quickly. We've got James Clinton. Hello, James. Welcome to the show.
What up, Jason?
Beelzebub.
Come on. I'm like way back in.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know
that I'm getting.
Look, we got an hour's worth of chats to scroll through. I don't blame you, man. Look, guys, what is this? Week 4, week 5 of the new format. Forgive us for basically starting over and having to work out a few new games, all right? Promise, we'll get this. We'll get this rolling just nice. We'll get out the ball gags and the lube, and we'll be just fine going forward.
We've got Sooner GM, Brian Christgau. Is that how you say your name? Christgau? Anyone? Bueller?
Christgau.
I'll just call him Brian.
Brian.
We don't need to be so formal. It's fine. We're all friends.
Blue-eyed Scorpio. How you doing,
Yo,
buddy?
Blue-eyed Scorpio.
Good to see you. And who else? Getting down there. Getting closer to the end now. Baz, how you doing, buddy? And there's Devil. Devil made me do it. Beelzebub. He'll be doing his own stream a little bit later at 12 o'clock, I think, Pacific time tonight. So,
I swear to God.
He doesn't need to sleep. He's living in hell, isn't he? You know,
that's true.
I mean, it's hot as hell down there. So,
plus, they got all the cocaine dealers down there. So, you know.
Hey, well,
only the good ones are clearly in heaven.
Ricata will be down there soon himself.
God's like, you're not a dealer. I'll make the exception.
I haven't heard anything since I freaking just stopped watching after the whole thing went down.
There's
So I
not really
stopped
anything
watching,
to
too.
say. He's just embarrassing himself on his streams.
There
and I just
is
watched
a
the
lot
keynote
of
video
stuff
clips,
still
that's
coming
all.
out from that side.
That's the
A
thing,
lot of
Yeah, they
documents
warned
dropped
something that
recently.
was. Didn't they warn
to a
that
point
something
with-
was
oh, go
coming?
ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying, didn't they warn there was something coming out that, I mean, it probably, if nothing, if we didn't hear anything, then it didn't come to anything, but they were warning that there was something that was coming out that would make the kid hair follicle testing positive for cocaine test look like a cigarette. They were warning it was going to be really
Yeah,
bad. But they
so
didn't,
that was
I guess they didn't
your
drop anything.
boys, Kino Casino, wasn't it? They were
Yeah, it was.
they came out and they says, well, we've got we've got some sort of background knowledge, but we're not going to say what it is until it drops. It wouldn't be fair to. And I was sitting back thinking, all right, well then that's just fucking hearsay, then, isn't it? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
probably, yeah.
Let's be real about it. I could turn around and say that. I could say, oh, you'll never guess what. I've got some real deep comics gate knowledge, but I'm not going to say anything until it actually comes out. And
they were
then
saying
as
it
soon
was
as the
really
next
bad.
shit drops, I come out and
Get
say,
like a
see,
manila
this is what I
envelope,
was talking
just
about.
like it was facts to me. Here, I will reveal it.
Feel like a gaggle of girls behind you to open up silver suitcases. Like, which is it?
Wait. What's? Oh no, this is just the assassination plans of Trump. Gotcha. Okay, sorry. No, that's not what.
No, it's actually just Samuel L. Jackson as Jules opening the suitcase with the gold light shining in his face.
We happy?
You're not ready for that yet.
See, these are the memes that we need.
Oh, and speaking of memes, don't forget, everybody, if you would like to, like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, also check out the pinned comment. I think you pinned the comment, didn't you, Iron, in the chat for the Stream Elements link? It's also in the description below as well. The Stream Elements link. If you are feeling very generous, please do donate to us that way, because we're not quite monetized on the old YouTubes yet. You can send us a Rumble rant through... Rumble, of course. Not too sure about what Twitter's doing. But if you do have any memes, then please share them on our X link. And I'm just about to put that in the chat right about now.
Yeah, we love sharing those at the end of the show, guys.
So, and tag us with hashtag RG memes. So, hashtag RG memes, and we'll show those at the end of the show. But I think we should maybe go into the next little segment, which we've got going right now, and I'll see if I can start pulling up some of these links here. So we do a couple of mini segments during the show, and this one this week is, even though we haven't got a little stinger for it, we've got top 5 Steve Inman F around and find out memes. So let me just share that to the window.
That one you posted today was kind of insane.
Oh, did he post one today? Did he?
Was it the road
I don't know
rage?
if yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. This guy walks up with a pistol, and then another guy in the truck has a pistol and just drops him like a rock.
Dude, like a sack of potatoes.
I know,
man.
he went down. I wonder if he survived.
Well, actually,
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it,
no
dude.
way.
That was
I mean,
a
it
turn.
looks
That
like he
light
grabbed
went
something.
out.
Yeah. I mean, when you walk up with a big-ass pistol like that, what do you expect?
I don't think it was the first shot that got him. I think it was the one after he was dropping from getting hit. in
Yeah,
the
because he
neck.
grabbed his face before he
Oh.
went down. But I kind of wonder what happened.
I can't actually see that he's posted that today. Hang on, let's have a look.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was Stephen Minute. I know it was Matt.
Oh no, yeah,
posted something about
I've
it.
got it right
Oh, you
here.
did?
Let's share
I
this
wouldn't-
one. Let's
but
share
look,
this tab
I'd be-
instead.
I'd be careful about this. I'd be careful about this on YouTube, though.
Ah,
There's no gore,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
it's gunshots. So
It's someone dying,
Okie-dokie.
and that's
Here we go.
against YouTube policy.
Well,
is it?
do we
Shall-
know,
shall
or
we-
he's
Yeah.
just going to sleep? It's bedtime
Hang
for
on.
Bonzo.
Shall we
Like,
not
oh, look,
share
he's-
this one, Iron, or do you think we're going to be okay?
I mean,
You know what? I'm not
one of them-
monetized yet. I'm just doing this for fun, so let's go for it.
Okie dokie,
All
let's
right.
go for it. Right,
who's gonna
here we
know?
go.
We're letting it ride.
When you think you're the only one with a gun and you approach a vehicle and start pointing that wireless hole puncher, guess what? Don't be surprised when you're staring down the barrel and now staring up at the sky because your Windows operating system shut down because you wanted to be a badass. Man eventually died on the spot, but this is a lesson to be learned. Don't ever pull out your wireless hole puncher unless you're ready to use it, because
And I think we got the idea.
I will say this: the guy in the truck has the high ground.
He does. He has the slippery slope.
He has the sloped.
Wait, what?
Oh no!
Who's on the slope here? She's the sloped roof.
She would cause a slope on a roof, I can tell you that. Here we go.
Well, it's little idiots like this that just make you want to cringe inside.
Is that a karate chop that she opened with?
They can do whatever they want. Self-entitled assholes like little Debbie here. The man was showing patience until little Debbie got a little out of control and now getting tossed into a whirlwind. My God, I think I just felt the world shake. Right now she's taking off the shoes. Not like that's going to make a difference because she has no balance as a sumo wrestler. There's no need for a replay. This whole thing was in slow motion. What a freaking clusterfuck.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't bounce.
That is how you
the ending was like trying to help a turtle off its back.
Yeah. It's like Humpty Dumpty.
Big job of the Hutt.
If that was a seasoned Latin mother, that would be a totally different story. You'd be running in fear when the chancla
That she would be a lethal weapon.
Flee from the chancla. Your days are numbered when that comes out.
Here we go, number 3. Here we go.
Very pissed off because the package didn't come on time, so the Amazon driver's going to cut out like a flying friggin' hero. That flying Sparta kick to the chesticles. Now playing whack-a-mole. Let's just say whack-a-hole as he continues to beat the living snot out of this friggin' person.
That is no shovel.
What the hell
It
is
looked
got
like
into
it, yeah.
people getting all pissed off, getting violent because our package didn't come in time? As he screams, "This is Amazon, biatch!" Instead, she scores a next-day air kick straight to the chesticles, doing what this person's daddy should have done years ago if he didn't leave for a pack of smokes that one night. Now beating on this piece like a piñata, but no candy coming out quite yet.
That's prime delivery service of that asshole.
Aside
I
from
would
his
say
commentary, his use of the Karate Kid soundtrack and the Rocky theme
perfect.
are artful.
Well, I love
man.
the freaking Godzilla right off the bat.
Yes.
That's what got me.
Okay, I guarantee you that
Like
black
Chef
guy.
Boyardee.
Most black people don't know how to fight, so like he saw that. Oh, this lady can't really fight back, so I'm gonna try this. I always wanted to do this my whole entire life.
I've waited my whole life for this. Well, it's kind of crazy.
I guess he'd have won if he was in a swimming pool as well. Never mind.
Well, if you're thinking about LARPing and playing the game Grand Theft Auto in real life, well, real life has real consequences as this asshole continues to try and block this guy from
What are you, in
moving along
Houston?
and doesn't realize that to his left there's another car that's pulling
Can't tell,
up,
Flirt.
and that appears to be not a citizen but a cop telling him to get back in his car. What the hell do you think you're doing? Blocking traffic. I gotta get home. I've got chimichangas I gotta eat and put in the microwave, you son of a bitch.
Oh, you'll love to see it. That's fantastic.
You do love to see it. Oh, hang on. That's the same one. Hang on.
Again, this
Where's
is
he
my
gone?
daily commute. I face this shit all the time. It's bad.
Oh, this was the one that I wanted to share because this
Yo,
is
props-
absolute
Props
gold,
on that
this
driver for
is.
having $250,000 in the bank account, though.
Yeah, it's GTA money. It's like British money.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
right.
real.
You can check. What? It's like $100 for a card for that online. Yeah.
So this is by
ruined it.
far one of my favorites. This is, and so this for me took the #1 spot in the Steve Inman top 5 today. This is actually on a British street, so here we go.
Well, a couple of thieves stole a vehicle and now they're running from that vehicle. Why? Because they crashed it like the douchebags they are and now taking off. But it looks like one of them left something in the car, quite possibly boner pills, maybe his student ID, but he probably doesn't care about the identification. He just wants that 10% off discount to be able to use on chimichangas at the cafe down the street. Now slipping and falling on his ass in the process. Whatever he's grabbing from that car, I hope it's aspirin because he's going to need it after taking a shot from our hero. Out of nowhere and bashes his brains right into the brick post, and he's like, look what you made me do. Why you gotta make me act like this? Let's take a quick look at the replay. What the hell was this? Some sort of Monty Python production? You can see he comes into the car, slips real quick. Not having boner pills be the least of his problems as our hero bashes right into his chin and slips into it like a friggin' Slim Jim.
I thought he got punched into it. No, he got punched in the momentum to carry him forward.
Yeah. You took the full force of the brick power to the face. And there we have it, boys and girls. The Steve Inman top 5 FAFO moments.
Thank God.
Very
Wow.
nice, Jack. Thank you.
Jeez. his face has got to have like pockmarks in it now, right? He doesn't have a nose.
Hey, you know what? I hear they have a very good dental plan in prison.
Well,
British
to be
dental
quite
plan?
honest with you, no, I mean, British teeth, I know that people say that British have got the worst teeth, but in my area, we've got pretty good water, so we've got all the minerals we need. But what I'm more concerned about is we've also got very good brick layers in this country, and to knock that wall down, you needed to have some force, I've got to tell you, to knock the complete top off of that wall there. He's got to have hit it with some force, so he's definitely got a flat face now. Definitely.
Yeah, it's not that shoddy American mason work. So,
were you just building in concrete straight up?
No, we don't even build. We just get Mexicans to do it.
You get Mexicans.
It's usually just pressed wood with plaster around it to make the illusion of a wall or a brick.
No, that's China.
China.
All right, well, let's just take a quick look at the chat, see if we missed anybody coming in at the last minute. Hey, the Kaylee Scope. What the hell did I miss? A lot. You should go back and watch the whole thing and then watch it again just in case you missed anything a second time around.
And hit that thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Always, yeah. Hit the like and subscribe. And, share, all those things, do all the stuff, stick a thumb right up in there.
Mm-hmm. We definitely appreciate it. So I think we're ready to get into the final topic of the night. The one Strider's been, both you and Strider have been dressed accordingly for. You got the
makes you say that
Solidarity ear patch, and you've got your clan hat on. So
I do. What's actually kind of cool about this hat, this was actually at the inauguration. One of my friends went, and COVID broke him, so now he hates Trump. But I still got the hat, so I win.
Well, if he has a hat, you can have his too. Because
I should have.
This is his hat, actually.
Oh,
he gave it up.
Good.
Yeah, this is his hat. He gave it up, and I ended up with it for some reason. I'd never gotten rid of it.
I'm gonna be 100% real. I did order one. It just didn't get here in time for the show.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
I
Amazon cart is full.
I had to get something a little outside. I got a one that has a patch from the new iconic photo, and it says
badass.
And it says "you fucking messed" on it. It's like, okay, I can actually wear that.
That's fantastic. That's historic.
The red MAGA hats are just a little.
There you go.
They're a little annoying.
Matt Bahr's
the trucker.
I'll get one for my background, but I'm not
doesn't work with me.
You mean this photo? This photo
Yes.
right here. Yeah, there we are.
But no, guys, selling T-shirts that crosses a line. You can't do that apparently.
Yeah, the one I ordered
do
for
whatever
the
the
actual
fuck I
MAGA
like.
hats, that new black one with the silver writing. So it's I'll probably put
nice.
it back there. Might wear
Make
it on
America black
occasion.
again.
Right.
There's a black guy that drives around in a white Ford Tundra. I mean, a Ford F-150. He has it raised. The grill says "white privilege." So what he does, it's absolutely hilarious. So people make TikToks. The extreme left make TikToks like, how could anyone drive around with something like that? So his TikTok videos is responding to them like, yeah, how could anyone get into something like that? And it's his truck. So he's like getting out of the truck and going into it. It's absolutely hilarious. And then there's another black guy. He wears Confederate flags everywhere. So his slogan is "Without white women, what is life?" So he pisses off all the woke black folks or whatever.
So,
Nothing is
Iron,
more savage and more hilarious than like minority MAGA fans. They're brutal and it's great. It's comedy.
We've got to.
I'm going to have to ask
go ahead.
you to take the lead on this one, mate, because some of the show notes that I've got, some of the links that you left in there, I'm blocked by some of the people on Twitter.
Yeah, you gotta quit being so spicy.
No problem. No problem. I'll definitely take this one now.
So basically, what we're talking about in this section is we've all seen what's been happening over the attempted assassination. We don't need to run over everything that everyone else has been going over the last week since it happened. But what we are going to take a look at is some of the responses that have come out of this whole situation. So yeah,
and I'm hoping we're all a little contradictory of each other. I hope we don't all have the same opinion, but we'll wait and see, because there has been a lot of aftermath. A lot of people are calling this the new wave of cancel culture. So
yeah, I'm sorry. There's a difference between just being vindictive and trying to ruin someone's life over a different opinion from 10 years ago than, saying like, oh, why didn't you actually kill him? You shit shot.
See, I understand, but I don't give a fuck. That's it. That's
yeah. My
and that's a perfectly good.
I don't care.
Responses.
My stance on this whole cancel culture thing is, if you are going to put something out in public and someone else wants to highlight it, they are not cancelling you. So, like, libs of TikTok have been getting a lot of flack recently. Like, oh, should libs of TikTok be like calling for people's cancelling? And it's like they're literally just retweeting.
Holding a mirror.
Yeah, holding up a mirror and saying, this is what other people are doing. Are these really the people that you're employing, guys? You know what I mean? And they're the ones who are getting flack for it. It's like, no, all they've done is retweeted someone else's public comment. And I've actually got something like that I added to the show notes from some bitch I know, Lauren L. It's on the end of the show notes there, so we'll see that a little bit later. But she's got a very interesting take about it, and I'd like us all to listen to that if we can towards the end of this section.
Now, and I think the main one that kind of sparked everybody's interest was what happened at the Tenacious D concert. And I thought I had that bookmarked, so I'm gonna have to search for it real quick. It's not hard to find.
But yeah, so if you've been living under the proverbial rock, Carl Gass, the second half of Tenacious D, put out in his where were they, in Australia doing a gig?
Australia, and he making a birthday wish because it was his birthday during that show.
That's right, yeah. So he says, don't miss next time, or something like that.
So don't miss Trump next time.
So here it is.
Look at him. Look at him.
Make a wish now. Don't miss Trump next time.
And pointing out Jack Black is laughing hysterically.
We love you, kids.
And that's true. The crowd was laughing too, and it was the response that happened afterwards that I think they weren't expecting. I think that they just thought this is within the rules. They set the rules for everybody else a long time ago of what's okay and what's not okay. We've seen what's okay and what's not okay. Gina Carano comparing people attacking each other over what the media says involving COVID to the way citizens were instructed to treat each other leading up to World War II in Germany. That bad. And they even somehow conflated that into anti-Semitism, but Pedro Pascal comparing everybody that voted against Biden to be a Nazi, that okay. Same company, in fact, employs both of them on the same fucking show, but only one person got fired. What are your thoughts on this particular situation? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, honestly, they wouldn't have faced any repercussions if it weren't for even the insurance company dropping Kyle Gass and Tenacious D. If it wasn't for the fact that the insurance company dropped them and they became uninsured, so venues couldn't actually host their show, they would still be going on tour. They wouldn't face any repercussions. And it's not a matter. It wasn't a matter of us or any detractors or anyone online pointing it out. It was just the fact that the insurance companies did not want to deal with the flack from that. They did not want to see their pocketbooks suffer. So they dropped.
Sorry, go ahead.
Didn't one of the politicians down there like call for deportation
after it, but that was in response to all this. Like after it had been deemed inappropriate and they had already faced the fallout and their shows getting canceled and all that, then the politicians stepped in. Then they said deportation. So they're trying to save face and look like it, but they don't care. Honestly, they're as liberal as they come.
Oh yeah.
That's perfectly fine to be liberal and to be anti-Trump as humanly possible, but just don't wish death on the man. Don't wish death
anyone
on somebody, especially because somebody died at this event. It would be a little bit different if nobody died there, if nobody even got hurt, or if Trump had not even gotten hit. I think we would have been having a bit of a different conversation. But the fact that he did get hit within less than an inch of his life and somebody else died, it's way more serious now. So you can't joke. But you should not joke about it. You should not make light of the fact that somebody died and it wasn't just the shooter. And
you have to be careful, right? Doesn't Alex Jones owe billions of dollars? I mean, I don't know how much.
And then everybody
unrealistic amount of
money because he called something a hoax that ended up not being a hoax.
We'll see if
you have a bunch of people calling this thing a hoax, and you have a dead person, you have a dead guy.
Yeah.
They are still calling it a hoax, even after this guy's funeral is today. And today, major members of the mainstream media are still saying, well, this could have all been staged. That could have been a blood packet that he slapped on his ear. Or I'm just asking questions, but why did he stop for that photo shoot at the end with his fist in the air?
Yeah, y'all remember Destiny's whole point on the freaking what's his name?
Oh, we'll get to Destiny.
Yeah.
Well, which show did he go unhinged on? Just pick one.
I can't. Pierce
Morgan.
Yeah, Pierce Morgan.
Pierce Morgan, that was fun.
But like he was trying to. His whole point was, Biden called the family, and they didn't accept his call. What did Trump do? Trump was giving them time to grieve. It's like he eventually did talk with them, but
they answered the phone when he called.
They accepted him, or they allowed him to come to the funeral.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure every bit he would have, even if they said like no cameras or anything, he would totally abide by that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. Whereas Biden would be like, no, I need my whole entourage. I need every publicity stunt available.
That's just to walk up the stairs.
Well, I mean, look, what was it? What was his name today? The robot who owns Facebook. Zuck, yeah. Even he came out today and he turned around and says that seeing Biden stand up after almost getting shot was one of the most badass, being an American, if you're an American patriot, it's got to be one of the most badass things that, to ever.
Oh, you mean Trump?
Yeah. Okay. Seeing Trump stand up. Did I?
Yeah.
Seeing Trump's. Well, I mean, you wouldn't see Biden stand up, would you? I mean, like the Trump gets shot in the ear. Yeah, stands straight up and starts fist pumping. Yeah, like Biden literally walks on stage and falls down.
Because he's made
now what they're doing, they're comparing. Biden got COVID, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, this picture.
Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, Biden. He got COVID, so that's the same thing as getting shot.
His third time catching COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Is
and
COVID
he's
still
bravely
a thing
making it through somehow, some way.
No, he's not. They're hiding him until he can supposedly make his dropout announcement this weekend. I doubt that's the case.
Well, apparently he's not dropping out now. Apparently Jill and Hunter have sort of talked him into it, and they're going to be formally announcing him as the nominee.
I hope they do. Go for it. Just
Good.
Run with it.
Well, they don't have anybody else to replace him with.
What was you saying, Matt?
Weekend at Biden's.
I'm about to say, are they like holding up the strings?
Fucking bring him out like a little matinee puppet.
And
yeah, that's a joke now, but that's a reality. After that debate where she's like, "Congratulations, Joe! You answered questions. You did so good." Like,
he's been so emphasized. Like, even after that, he had his big boy press conference, and they kept saying his big boy press conference, and we saw it, his big boy press conference, and it's like, for God's sakes, every White House speaker keeps calling it a big boy press conference. What the hell? Did he finally get out of his Depends?
Yeah,
boy, he's gonna get some ice cream after this.
Yeah, I don't think they unless it's going to be Gavin Newsom. I don't see them picking anyone else, because I don't know if you guys remember when there was the presidential debates the last time, and Kamala had the debate Pence. Say what you want about Pence, but he wiped the floor with her easily.
He did. If it weren't for that freaking fly landing on his shit head.
Yeah, but
it was very odd that he picked her when she was like on the low rung of popularity.
I'll tell you what,
right? Of like all the VPs, so. It was like
she's one of those race ambiguous people. Yeah, she's one of those race ambiguous people. So, because at that same time, so she lost and dropped out, but then it was like, oh well, we need a first black VIP. So she basically became a DIE hire or whatever that shit's called, and that's all that was, because she's racially ambiguous. Where one day she can be Indian her whole entire life, and then when the time calls for it, she can be black all of a sudden. That's all. She ain't black.
I just want to point out. I just want to point out. All right. JD Vance was a brilliant VP pick, because if it is Biden Harris going in, the man has a lifetime of experience debating a brown woman.
Yeah. It was more Indian than Kamala can dream about.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that house smells so good. Like Meghan Markle.
Yeah, that's the only reason why she's there. Because, you got, well, I mean, we're seeing it right now with Chicago or Illinois. What's that? Dalton, Illinois. The one lady got hired as the mayor and the township, whatever. And just because she was black, nothing about her credentials, her policies, or nothing. Here in Georgia, in Fulton County, we got Fannie Willis. What she do that was great? She was just born that way, black. That was it. And then
nailed it.
We just see the judge in the YSL case just moved on. They're all diversity hires. They're not, none of them. And the one person that actually has credentials that they're mad about that is black is Clarence Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't count as black
because big don't like him. That's funny. I don't really hear, you always hear about all the racial slurs that are getting thrown around. I don't hear them that often unless it's directed at Clarence Thomas. Then you see them all in unison.
Yeah. So basically, what was it? Was it AOC just filed like impeachment things for Clarence Thomas?
Against him and Alito.
No,
yeah,
please.
and then now Biden's trying to do he's trying to do term limits on the Supreme Court justices or whatever.
Plus put in an independent ethics ethics board based off of judges from lower courts to handle the ethics of the Supreme Court.
But she's got that big booty, ain't she? She's got that Latino big booty. Anyway,
recently.
Oh my God, I'm so triggered. She's signaling to us. She's telling us Whitey's a symbol.
Like we need Alex Stein to finally get with her and take her on a date, and then she'll actually realize what a real man is.
No man in the right mind would sacrifice AOC for Alex Stein's lady.
Haven't you heard Alex Stein? Like AOC is his dream big booty Latina.
Oh, not to get too far off topic, but did you see Alex Stein crash Cenk Uygur?
Oh yeah, that was
an interview.
Cenk like
he got escorted out for that, but totally worth it.
Oh, absolutely worth it.
Serves Cenk right for trying to grift at the RNC like the freaking shit box he is.
I'm more like, if you don't like America, go back to Turkey or whatever you're from.
They don't have enough horses there,
and take your damn nephew with you.
Please.
Oh, for God's sake. He can stay. Just get rid of Hassan.
Yeah.
That's a fair exchange. I'll take that any day.
Speaking of grifters, and bringing it slightly back on topic, so we did have a terrible response from Destiny, keeping it in with the old cancel culture thing, and a terrible response to the the attempted assassination on Trump. So I don't know whether you've got the links there, Ryan. But yeah, Destiny, this kind of broke him a little bit, didn't it? And lo and behold, he's been banned off Twitch, and he's been demonetized on X and all sorts of stuff.
Was he banned off Twitch? Wow. I knew he was banned off of Kick, and that's impressive.
No, Kick, yes, that's it, not Twitch.
For 2 weeks. He gets back on at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But that's hardly a punishment.
Now, hold on. You might not say that's a punishment, but Pirate Software actually does break down being banned for a certain amount of time with your subscriptions, because there are automatic renewals that don't actually get automatically renewed because you're suspended. So that actually adds up to a lot of revenue lost, because some people forget to renew those subscriptions coming back.
Interesting.
So that actually is a decent amount of money.
And also, I guess he's being punished himself, by having to eat something out of his girlfriend's whatchamacallit.
Here's the thing. What's so funny about this? This is why you just never assume when you're, especially when you get any kind of following, any kind of significance on the internet. Never assume that you are untouchable. Never assume that shit about you will not come out. Because all this guy had to do was shut his fucking mouth, but he didn't, and now all of his worst past mistakes are now coming back to bite him, including what he just said. So don't ever think that you are above accountability.
Well, and he started off with just a few tweets, implying that he doesn't care that. So a Trump supporter was shot. Am I supposed to care about that? It's a good thing. He kept doubling down, and then this is what really set it all off. So it's just a few seconds long.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy. Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100%. Fuck it.
You don't have any conservative viewers.
I am. Just quickly, mate. Your messages are open on the side there, and you're broadcasting them to the world.
Oh, oops. There we go.
Now the whole world is
coming back to bite you in the ass, huh?
I don't think I got anything there to worry about, but whatever.
But nevertheless, yeah. I mean, he's. He looks like the kind of guy who would bend someone over a little tykes.
Well, did he just
a legitimate quote from him, by the way, in case nobody got that. That's a legitimate quote from him.
Yeah.
Let's comments.
Didn't he get caught with the horse file shit on his computer or something?
That was
Bosch.
They're
the same person to me. I don't know.
They're all disgusting leftoid
all
monsters.
white people look the same.
No. I will give Destiny this credit. He's not a communist. He's just a freaking moronic leftist.
How about who didn't sleep with Destiny's wife while he was in the room and he wanted that to happen? God, that's disgusting.
So gnarly.
That was the first time I'd ever heard of Destiny. I didn't know his politics or anything. I just knew that he let a black dude bang his wife and was happy about it.
He tried to walk around like some stupid.
They're like slow dancing behind him, like while he's streaming, like he's.
I remember
playing Minecraft while his fucking wife is getting their guts.
I don't think he was playing.
I remember back in college, I actually did watch Destiny's YouTube channel when he was just solely StarCraft. He was an announcer on StarCraft, like just the private LCS announcers that would just like watch it from outside and actually commentate on it, and it was fine. He was cool then. Well, not really cool, but he was. It was cool for the scene because you didn't know his politics and everything. Then he suddenly found traction and commentating and politics and then debating, and because he could speak well enough and learn big words and recite them correctly and then get more belligerent and speak over people and don't let anyone get a word in edgewise, that's when he suddenly was praised to be this genius freaking liberal debater. And it's just like, no, he's just a belligerent dipshit that only recites rehearsed freaking headlines.
I can't stand hearing his voice.
Yeah.
No, I can't. At least Vosh.
And I'm sure there are people who can't stand hearing my voice as well, but his has got a unique sort of I want to punch your fucking teeth in sort of vibe to it.
Well, he reminds me of Dick Masterson, and
I was just gonna say that.
It doesn't matter.
Well, seriously, he'll scream at you and berate you and browbeat you into shutting up because he keeps talking, raising his voice. Say what you will about Vosh, the dude at least keeps a even register the whole time. He says just the absolute most unhinged bullshit, but at least he stays at a even register, so he at least sounds like he's controlled. Destiny sounds unhinged every single time he tries to talk. And he passed himself off as this pseudo-intellectual. He's cosplaying as an intellectual, trying to go around at like the Whatever podcast and I remember I saw Jordan Peterson, and Peterson was just wiping the floor with this twink, and it could not have been any more funny because he couldn't do to Jordan what he does to everybody else.
There was another person. No. There was another person who handled Destiny really well, and it was on Whatever. He has a show alongside Charlie Kirk and
I can't think of his name, but I know precisely who you're talking about. Go and watch the Whatever podcast when you're not watching this, and maybe you'll see him.
He freaking handled Destiny spectacularly, and you just watched Destiny come apart at the seams. He started to you saw him like search his phone, scouring Wikipedia for fact points to freaking counter his argument, and he just couldn't pull anything up. And meanwhile, this dude's just like reciting it verbatim, not even looking at any notes, not any phones, and he actually pulled up the sources from memory, and Destiny was basically just getting fisted for the whole world to see on that show.
Yeah,
he's a very good debater. That dude who we're talking about, he is a very good debater, and knowing things from memory as well, like just pulling things out the top of his head and having these counterpoints. He's fantastic at it. Yeah, so go check that out, I guess.
It's such a weird bridge to be like, oh, he's arguing and he's not very good at the way he argues, but then there's also him being cuckolded on screen. You know what I mean? It's like, why did you show that?
We have a strong.
You seem to be doing just fine with one avenue, one lane of like weird shit. You had to like add that extra sidecar of fucking weirdness.
You knew it was only a matter of time when he was saying that him and what is it, Melania? I don't know. Just saying that. Oh, at the end of the day, she comes home to me, and it's like that's the same cope iDubbbz has. No. And the only good news is that she's nowhere near as hot as your girl. Meanwhile, yours has options and it has the ability to travel the world on your dime.
And so
I watched
and now they're divorced. So look where that turned up. I think I knew it. All they had to do. Oh yeah, I'm proud of my wife cuckolding me. No, you're not. You guys are gonna get
the funny thing about the divorce. So the guy she was playing around with and divorced him for, he doesn't allow her to do any of that polyamorous whatever shit. And so like she's not allowed to go with other guys and stuff. Whatever guy he got, she got in Europe or whatever.
He evaded.
And so while Destiny was going around parading and shit for, we need to spread the message of, is that me freezing up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, but he goes around kind of preaching the gospel of polyamorism, and as soon as she traded up, she gave up that shit.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is, you can do whatever you want to do behind closed doors. You're both consenting adults, but don't brag about it. Don't just shut up about it. Don't let anybody know what goes on behind closed doors. Keep it between you, and people won't make fun of you for it. People might respect you for just shutting up about it.
Well, the internet is a very cool place, right? The internet is a cool place, and letting those things out into the public, people are definitely going to be ripping the piss out of you, especially those sorts of things. I mean, that comment that I mentioned earlier, where it's an archived tweet of his where he's asking some girl if he's got any photographs of her when she was 10 years old. And then she sends him these photographs, and he's like, "Damn girl, you were attractive. I've never wanted to bend anybody over their little tyke so much." And it's like, you're talking about a 10-year-old girl.
You can hear Selena's. We could hear Selena scream from there. What the hell?
Yeah, you're still muted.
Dude, wood chipper goes burp.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that, but that's the kind of like edgy joke that Dick Masterson would make. Whenever you think that you can't be touched, whenever you think that, oh, I'm just in it for the jokes, you go more and more.
Are they jokes though?
They're not
they
jokes
really
at this
joking?
point. None of us believe
It's hard.
that they're
It's hard
jokes.
for them to say they're jokes when, like, you know, Vito will do tweets where it's like, "I'm not joking. I'm gonna fuck your kids," or
Well, not only
I'm not
that-
joking.
Do
Here I
things to
come. It's
children.
like, I don't know how you can say you're not joking or you are joking when you say you're not. I know
So
Ethan
Vito-
one day called me he goes, "You're such a fucking literalist." I'm like, what does that mean? I'm a literalist? You mean like you want to say something on Monday, but you want to mean something different on Tuesday?
Well, here's the thing.
Fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
so
Like, give me a
so
break.
Vito blocked me because I was sharing his own words to him. So the problem was, it's not just. Here's why I don't think it's just a joke. He uses the word "we" when he's just like, he has a bunch of. I'll send them to you, but he'll say, he'll put the word "we" in front of non-offending, whatever they call themselves or whatever, right?
Maps or whatever.
Yeah, but he'll say we're non-offending pedophiles or whatever type of shit, and he uses the word.
Oh, well, that
"we."
makes it all better.
Yeah, if I'm not part of that group, I'm not using the word "we," right? Any of us, if you're talking about a group of people and you're not a part of that group, the word "we," you're going to say them or whatever. That's normal speech. He uses the word "we" whenever he talks about them, and that's why I don't think it's a joke. I think he's legit serious.
Yeah,
and he got backlash for it, and then so that's when he started saying it was a joke.
Here he is.
Where's
Here's
the
your boy.
punchline?
Here's
Yeah.
your boy Vito. Right.
That's
now.
I'm like,
Zoom
where's
in a
his
little bit if you
punchline?
can. There, Iron.
Let me see if I can here.
Like, I used to think my jokes and my humor was pretty racy, you know. I'm like, man, be careful. My jokes are pretty wild, but they're not, you know. Like, I think my humor level is about like Blazing Saddles. That's about as like weird as it gets. You know what I mean?
That's a pretty good place to be, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, you know, I like a little bit of spice, but you know, nothing, you know what I mean? But it just feels like this is just like way beyond that, where I'm like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't think pedophilia is fucking funny. I don't think any of this shit
especially
is funny at
if
all.
you're role playing as one, apparently, because that's all he's doing is pretending to be.
What? Like,
No, I'm telling you, he's not pretending, because if you follow, if my computer would freeze up and stuff, I would share you like his, because the people he's talking to are having like a back and forth dialogue with him, and he's putting himself as if he's one of those in like groups. That's why he uses the word "we." The same thing when he was like, "We contacted the charity" or whatever. You know, regular human speech. When you say the word "we," you're including yourself in that group, whatever that is. But it'll be a normal conversation between him and somebody else, and he describes himself as part of that group to that person, and so there's like, where's the joke there? Because at the end of it, there's no punchline. He's just defending pedophilia for non-offending, whatever they call themselves. And then so I showed him his own tweets, and then he blocked me. So
by the way, this is also the same guy who is joined at the hip with Dick Masterson, who one of the producers on his show is Digibro, a guy who draws Lolita.
Oh my god,
that is a dark path to go.
Gnarly little dude, man.
I'm not. Yeah, they're the exact. There's a reason that they all make common cause, and it's not a good association to have. It's pretty disgusting.
Now, since we are talking about Vito, and we're still talking about the what they're calling now the new cancel culture. Here's another one. So he says, why is this account allowed to dox people with the full support of Elon Musk? I thought Elon said you shouldn't lose your job because of opinions expressed on social media. Well, this is Libs of TikTok, who only ever shows what people already, and the information they put out already post themselves. And this is let's see, it's a teacher at an elementary school who basically makes a point that, you know, wishing that the shooter succeeded and that there would be another one.
Yeah. Big difference between Carolyn A liking following Liz of TikTok and then getting fired from limited run games for it.
Right.
Am I mixing up my metaphors there?
Well, or making a joke about like what you who was saying earlier, they got banned for using the South Park meme of strong woman and macho ma'am Randy Savage from that episode.
Oh,
yeah.
I got banned on Facebook for posting that Macho Man Randy said.
Yeah,
like it was like a year later, like that. Mark Zuckerberg's like, yeah, you can't do this, and like you're banned for like a week or some shit.
Retroactive
a lot of them come retroactively, the ones that were happening. And again, these are the rules that were already preset. So now that the rules are starting to apply to other people, that's when there seems to be a backlash about it. Mm-hmm. I'm a little bit of a absolutist. Maybe it shouldn't happen either way, but with the exception of actually, advocating for violence, which again, that's kind of what's happening.
That's a line
here.
You shouldn't cross.
Okay, so it's a different thing. If someone has got like a differing opinion to you, yeah, it's one thing to like, completely dox them by like releasing their personally identifiable information. Someone who's hiding behind some kind of, like account, like some mask account or whatever. That's one thing, right? But like people who are in public office, people who are in, school systems, for example, these are the people who are going to be teaching your kids. These are the people who are going to be dictating policies and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this woman here, right? So what? All they did was all Libs of TikTok did was retweet a video that someone else had put out, right? It wasn't Libs of TikTok that doxed this person. It was someone else who put out a video of this person where they're going into the shop and saying, are you happy about like the comments that you made on Facebook or wherever it was? And Libs of TikTok just reposted that. And subsequently she got fired because the majority of the time when you go into some kind of corporation, nowadays especially, they have like social media clauses because you are a representative of the firm, you are a representative of that corporation, and you will have to sign terms and conditions that say that whilst you are employed by us, you need to be careful of the things that you put out on social media. And if they go against our own policies, then you may be reprimanded. And so obviously the what shop is this?
Home Depot.
Home Depot. Okay, yeah, so Home Depot have obviously got a clause in one of their terms and conditions of contract that state don't say that kind of shit on the internet, otherwise you're going to get fired for it. And subsequently she did.
Especially if you link yourself to the corporation anyway, like what people used to do with Blizzard in order to get their verifications and stuff on old school X before, you didn't just pay for Twitter Blue.
Right.
I learned this lesson when I was in the 6th grade because I had a really bad temper and I would just run my mouth and I would wish the worst harm on people that just made my life hell. And I said this to my teacher at the time. I wanted to blow her head off. That's what I said. I was just venting anger because she brought me in. I was about to go out to recess and she's bringing me in to go redo an assignment because I don't know. I just screwed off because she was the most boring thing in my life at that point in time. And because I wrote that on a piece of paper and then threw it in the trash, and that's how the counselors would teach you how to manage your anger as a child at that point in time. Write it in a note and throw it in the trash. But the teachers were so freaking paranoid that they'd go and like pull the notes out of the freaking trash because they had nothing better to do on their breaks than to try to read the gossip of what kids were talking about. And this happened, mind you, in Conifer, Colorado, and that's just a 30-minute drive away from Columbine, Colorado, which the year prior or 2 years prior we had Columbine. So
you were fucked.
I had to be on probation because I was venting my anger in a threatening way for 6 months, and I learned that lesson as a 12-year-old kid. And as much as I still have those dark thoughts that come into your mind, because we're all human and we're in a society that is shown freaking graphic violence, and it's been part of culture and slapstick comedy and even in primetime TV shows, and it's just easy to go to that point in describing your frustration with people. But even to this day, as much as those thoughts still come into my head, I push them aside because they're stupid. They aren't what's right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have the thoughts, but to voice them out and to feel proud to say this thing and that it's perfectly acceptable, that just shows how far society is fallen, that we can allow something like this to happen, and then half the country saying like, oh, well, too bad he missed.
Or get him next time.
Yeah, well, especially with the get him now, like, too bad he missed. Okay, fine, I'll let that slide. But get him next time. You're wishing death on. You're wishing another sniper would kill him. That's
you're wishing the violence to continue. That is exactly what it is, and that's the problem. That we need to change that outlook. We have come so far. We need this should be a wake up call that we are going dangerously close to a Franz Ferdinand Austria freaking World War I situation.
Well, this just goes to show how deep TDS has gotten with some people. It's bled all the way down to just some cashier in Home Depot, this middle-aged woman who's probably already miserable. Look at her. No judgment, but still, like, she looks like a miserable person even without the video. But how miserable do you have to be to wish death on somebody? And to be sad that he missed, and to wish death on someone. Oh, get him next time. How miserable do you have to be to even get in that mindset? But let's just show you how far TDS has gotten, and I think this should serve as an object lesson. It's not just internet blood sports anymore. Yeah. It's not just all these politicians being crazy. It's bled down to the rank and file Americans, the people that teach your kids, the people that put out your fires, the people that work, the people that are your surgeons, are your doctors, are your baggers, are your deliverers, are your delivery drivers. Everybody's infected with it somehow, and this doesn't lead anywhere good to have this kind of societal bifurcation like this. And we didn't do anything.
And again, it goes back to the rules that they established. They said that you can lose your job, your livelihood, everything over the wrong opinion.
Yeah, and that's not even really what that is.
But this isn't even a wrong opinion. This is wishing harm. This is literally stuff that is declared by the Supreme Court not freedom of speech. This is incitement of violence. That's the difference.
Like real incitement of violence.
Yeah,
this is actual incitement of violence, and people need to realize the difference. Just because of the person you hate so much doesn't give you a justification to go ahead and advocate for it. I may not like Biden, but let's be honest. I don't wish for the guy to be killed. No. I would like him just to stop fucking up my life.
I ain't gonna lie. I pray for Biden's safety because I don't know what to call Kamala Harris in the office. I'm originally from California, so it's like, we're all familiar with her there. So if you're familiar with her past, hell no, you don't want her up in that office.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
Every black man in the country should be very share that exact same.
I mean,
sentiment,
they don't want slave labor in prison, which is literally what you did. But like, if Biden were to catch a bullet tomorrow, what would we do? What we do collectively would be like, oh shit. Would any of us be particularly sad? I don't think we would. However, we would be like, that's wrong. That's fucked up. Can't say I'm sad about it, but you could at least say that's wrong, and I'm not going to celebrate it. But
here's the difference.
We live on a different planet.
If Trump hadn't have moved his head, there'd be parades in the streets.
Yes,
if Biden was on that stage
Yeah.
and was the one that caught it, the right might say like, oh well, yay, he stops messing with the whole system and causing the downfall or whatever they're blaming on him. Yeah. But they wouldn't be out there throwing a goddamn parade.
No, and that's much different. It's much different than saying I'm not really sad, but I'm not going to celebrate. There's a difference between being ambivalent about something like that and absolutely celebrating it and hoping somebody repeats it over and over and over again. That's a big difference here. So this is apples and oranges when it comes to cancel culture, and so it's a psyop. It's them trying to get us to shut up about it because they don't like because turnabout is fair play, and they don't like the tactics. They don't like their own tactics used against them.
And Vito, among everyone, does not like this change in the culture war because he knows his ass is up on the chopping block soon.
I mean, when you mess with kids, you know,
man,
you don't square that circle.
he had the protection of the mob. Now that mob is actually losing its power.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's not just Vito. A lot of people did, and they've gotten away with a lot of worse things. And I'm sorry, the Home Depot woman, I do to a point feel bad about her. She had a very bad point of judgment, but again, how is that any different from anyone else that has suffered the same consequences for less, for not actual threats of violence? Just simply
I learned to shut up. I learned to shut up those thoughts and deal with them in a different way.
But let's see what I thought this was an interesting one too. I'll play this real quick.
This question where conservatives are like, this is just cancel culture, and we don't agree that cancel culture is a good thing, so we should stop this. Are you joking? Are you kidding me right now? These people want you dead. And you want a white knight for them? They wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. They hate your guts. And conservatives are so weak that they're like, we can't dox people. This is cancel culture. They wrote it in a public platform. They're doxing themselves, like they're doing it to themselves, posting something that someone said on a public platform that was disgusting. It's called actions have consequences. Not
wow,
actually. I don't understand why we're even having this conversation about, is that too mean? Is that engaging in cancel culture? Is that doxing?
No, engaging in cancel culture.
F around, find out. This question where
engaging in cancel culture is the relentless pursuit for a vindictive mean to get rid of people.
Yes,
just
and it's
showing up the mirror and demanding the rules be applied. That's not cancel culture. That's called keeping a just and civilized society. Getting
cancel culture is liking a tweet and then losing your job over it. That's cancel culture. This is not. This is apples and oranges. They two could not be more different. I understand from a moral standpoint, maybe we don't want to use the tactics of the enemy against them. But here's the thing about that strategy. If you use the tactics of the enemy against them, they'll stop because they don't like it. So by all means, do it, because eventually this is going to stop. It's like that one kid. It's like that one big kid punching on the small kid in the playground, but then the small kid gets up, socks him in the jaw, and all of a sudden he's down, and this bigger kid's down on his ass, finally getting the consequences of what he's been giving this other kid for so long. We've had years of this. This has been happening since Obama was in power, for God's sake. I remember that. I remember this. Like, my memory does go back
almost
that far.
a decade.
I don't care.
Can you imagine what it would be like if Elon hadn't actually purchased Twitter to give us an outlet for free speech?
We would be having we would not be able to say the word assassination or Trump or anything, because
the First Amendment would be dead by now.
Yeah.
It would. Now, I do kind of see this as basically a means to an end. A lot of people have been saying this since everything started. Once the rules start getting applied evenly, or if that pendulum just swings back really hard and everything starts happening to the same people that can basically dish it out but don't ever want to take it in return, that's when this kind of the going after everybody personally just for anything and not being able to just brush shit off or mind your own fucking business, just letting other people have those other opinions would start to kind of fizzle away. And that's probably what's going to happen now. Kind of that means to an end. Or it's just going to get a shit ton worse.
I think we should have a listen to that Some Bitch I Know's message. There's two parts to it. So like she recorded. Did we lose someone? No. Okay. So I think that it's in two parts. So you'll have to, like, the one message is like commented on the other. So it's right at the bottom of the show notes for this section. But yeah, basically she's got a good message, because she used to be a rampant leftist, and I completely agree with her without a shadow of a doubt. So if we can. Just get that.
And this will be my first time seeing this, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Lauren. Some bitch, you know. here to talk to you about cancel culture. I know it's the thing that everyone wants to talk about these days. I have been called out for being a former leftist, and so by encouraging some aspects of cancel culture in response to left-wing people expressing callousness to the fact that President Trump was shot at, and or wishing he had actually died, and or suggesting that a Trump supporter being taken out that day was a good thing, that I think that there should be repercussions for that. And if that involves being quote unquote canceled, so be it. But because I am a former leftist, I am just reverting back to, my previous ideology. But here's what I have to say about that. And I would say I'll leave it alone after that, but that is a bold-faced lie. But when I was snapping out of my stupor, when I was waking up to just the reality of the hell I'd put my parents through, and the absolute just lie of a life I was living, and convinced that I was the good guy, the things that brought me back from the brink were shame, honestly, feeling shameful about my actions and things that I said and things that I didn't even really believe, but I just parroted because I thought that that was what other people wanted to hear out of me, or what I thought would get me the most social clout. Sorry, I sounded all Canadian just there. Clout. Anyways, what would give me the most clout?
She's outed herself. Get her.
By saying I would repeat things that I would hear other pundits say, and I thought that that was good. I thought that that was what was, again, wanted and or needed out of me. But feeling shameful about the things that I was putting other people through and saying was actually, in fact, the first step to being brought back from the brink. And you can say a lot of things about cancel culture. I personally do think that aiming...
the second part is just below it there, so we want to play that one.
Form, for the most effective forms of shifting the Overton window are the most important. Again, focusing on journalists, people who work in government, people whose taxes are paid or whose salaries are paid by your taxes. I think that that's most important, to be quite honest, as far as minimum wage workers go. I could take it or leave it, to be honest. But hey, I was a minimum wage worker at that point in time, and the change starts at home, and it starts individually. So I'm not saying that everyone's going to be helped out in the long run by that, but I tell you this much. For anyone who has lost a job and has had to explain why they lost a job to their friends and family, or who will have to explain to a future employer, whether or not they are actually coming clean about that or not, it doesn't really matter, because they will always know that they fell out of the Overton window. And that shame is honestly going to make a lot of difference. And you might not agree with that, but as a former leftist and as someone who knows what she is talking about, because she lived that life, just trust me. You don't have to, but trust me. So, former leftist out. Bye.
So what do you guys think about that?
I would like to. She has the same. Her little avatar there has the same glasses from the dude in Civil War. What kind of American are you?
That's true.
Yeah, I think that was intentional. It looks like it.
The way she would hold her rifle looks like it.
But no, she's absolutely right. I mean, it is shame is the lack of shame in our culture nowadays is a big factor. I mean, from anywhere from behavior online and social media to behavior as, responsible adults, the whole fact of OnlyFans, freaking just our entire society has been coddled, been told to be proud of who you are, don't feel any shame about anything. So that's why we have, freaking validation of obesity. We have freaking sexual work is real work. There's no consequences for people anymore, and they're just burning away the best time of their years by making dumb decisions that are just going to come back and actually bite them in the ass later, because no one's willing to freaking discipline them in a way that would show them the right path. No one's being shunned anymore. No one's being shamed into being like, no, you can't do that in our communities because we don't have communities anymore. When was the last time you went to a block party?
Oh, now you're making me sad.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I think and I've heard this argument recently, and at first I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But now I kind of get it. We need to bring bullying back. A healthy amount of.
Oh yeah.
Because it
healthy
shows
Steel
amount of
sharpens
and,
steel.
you
Steel sharpens steel. You give some bullying, you get bullying back.
You can't even stand up to bullies in school anymore because the bullies will always be classified as special needs. And if you do stand up to them, now you are inciting violence. You are partaking in violence, and so you get expelled. It's like the kid was literally holding my friend in a headlock. Forgive me for pulling him off of him and hitting him in the nuts.
But he's on the spectrum. Everybody is. Everybody is. The spectrum is the new ADD. Change my mind.
Well, the other thing too is they don't want you to defend yourself. So, so the Summer of Love was like, okay, if you did anything to try to stop them, you get in trouble, right? So, like the one where I forgot what city where the guy one of the Antifa guys aimed like AK at a dude, and the guy in the car.
That was in Austin, yeah.
Yeah, the guy shot him in self-defense, but then he gets in trouble for shooting a protester or whatever, right?
Which that guy just got out this past year.
But he shouldn't have been in the first place. The guy in New York defending his whatever they call them, bodegas and shit, right? A black guy goes in there, starts tearing up the place, and then the lady tries to stab him. He ends up shooting him. He goes to jail for taking out their life, and he's just defending himself.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't until public outrage that he even got released. And
but
also,
I mean,
the folks
there's
are
no
doing
marches for David Dorn, who was killed during that time for trying to defend local businesses. Retired black cop, staple of his community, and if it weren't for like Twitter and just counter media, you wouldn't even know his name.
Yeah,
and
all you another guy in Portland.
Sorry. Oh, no worries. I'm just saying, all you have to do is look at two examples, right? So, within California, right? You go look at Oakland, and Oakland's just turned to shit. You see people running into stores. There's no consequences because even if they do get caught, they just get a slap on the wrist and get right back out. Police officers in LA are not allowed to arrest people if the merchandise is under $1,000, but who's counting how much they're taking anyway? So, so it's like, and then if the owner does anything, they get in trouble for it, right? But if you go to like San Diego, where as much as San Diego has its own problems, they're not doing the same thing as Oakland and LA. They're not having businesses just shut down because of rapid robberies and stuff like that. And, that's just an example in California. You see that in other cities too, where complete opposites to a certain problem. One gives out consequences and the other one doesn't. Where I live, my county is like a no-play county, right? So there's barely any crime. We barely have any news. One of our biggest news pieces for months was someone found a mannequin and thought it was an actual lady with like a purse and everything. So called the cops like, hey, there's a dead body here. It ended up being a mannequin. And that was that was the news for
I worked that case. I worked the mannequin case.
Yeah, that was the news for
We'll be
months,
talking about
right?
it for years.
Yeah.
But the next
Marvel man comic.
Let me tell you something. We came up on that mannequin. It had no arms.
Right. But that was.
It looked like the Black Dahlia, I tell you.
I stopped praying to Jesus that day.
I haven't stopped drinking since.
So my county, people will tell you, do not get in trouble in that county because they don't play. So barely anything happens. But the
They're
next county over,
waiting, dude.
Yeah, the next county over, you always see people shooting each other. There's always news about someone getting robbed, cars getting stolen.
DeKalb?
No, I'm in Middle Georgia, so but even there, you go there, you got Marietta compared to
DeKalb all the time, like DeKalb County,
yeah.
dude.
Right now it's Fulton
crazy,
County.
Dude.
So Fulton County.
Is that what it is, Fulton?
Yeah, Fulton County right now. So the problem I don't mean to derail the stream, but Fulton County, because of Fannie Willis trying to go after Trump and stuff right now, for the people who do get arrested, And so what she's doing is these RICO charges, because you have to prosecute so many people at the same time. It takes longer to process because you have to get witnesses for everyone. So that in the YSL case was just also under Fannie Willis. So if you're locked up, you don't get to see your day in court until these 2 court cases are done. And who knows how long that shit's gonna take. So
Breaking
like,
that's an abuse of fucking power.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I'm glad I don't live in Atlanta. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, speaking of abuse of power, Daramouth for $2. Thank you so much. Tell Jack I know why he wears his shades now. Dang, it's bright. LOL. Sounds like an inside joke, fellas. Well, there is another, we've talked about the responses from like Veto, Destiny, but there's another thing. And just before we wrap up, I want to get everybody's thoughts on this. And this wasn't exactly, this is more stem from the RNC event. And we've got, let me bring this up. I already know this is coming to. Oh, you know where we're going.
Oh, it'd be Hulk Hogan's speech. I can't sit through that one again.
It's
not.
I
don't think it's Hulk Hogan's speech.
So let me go to this.
Oh, that one was such cringe.
I don't know. I liked it. It's the most testosterone.
It's Hulk Hogan.
It's the most testosterone I've ever seen at an RNC event in 20 fucking years.
I'll give you that.
Finally, like the Republican Party has balls again. Like, do you need any? Because here's what the DNC is going to be. The RNC was full of testosterone, patriotism, talks of freedom, talks of liberty, like good old-fashioned American values. What's the DNC going to be? Oh, trigger warning! Don't clap for me. Just wave your hands at me. It's going to be as weak and as soy-infused as humanly possible, and it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, this soy infused.
There'll be a whole lot of dudes in dresses too.
Matt Bahr
here. Not to self-promote. I actually did a video about this today.
Weird.
Oh, this is not the post I thought you were going to put.
I think Matt Walsh is slurping up the same.
I know which one you're thinking of, and that's next.
Oh, okay.
So we'll give Matt Walsh first, and then we'll get to.
Oh, I have opinions on this bitch.
So,
and I'm not talking about Walsh.
He's basically bitching about again, former leftist Amber Rose. She's there. The RNC gives a primetime speaking slot to a pro-abortion feminist and self-proclaimed slut with a face tattoo whose only claim to fame is having sex with rappers. Truly an embarrassment. Not a single voter will be mobilized by this person. Who wants to go first?
Before Strider takes off, I just want to say the one thing that made the most sense to me was in the comments. There was one guy that freaking told out Matt Walsh. She's like, she's speaking to people in freaking Philadelphia, people that actually get her, that you or any other person at that RNC would never be able to connect with. So what the fuck is wrong with you?
The people that don't like my thoughts, the people that don't care for her, her past, or anything about her, or even know who the fuck she is, aren't going to be swayed by her either way. So what fucking difference does it make?
It will not.
Yes. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what everybody else thinks.
She's got her Instagram, and I went over this in my video. She's got 26 million followers on Instagram. That's more followers than any of my follows combined. For God's sake. And you're going to try to gatekeep and be a little prissy religious bitch about it. The fact that she's actually a prime example of pure old-fashioned American values. If you believe in the core tenets of liberty, small government, low taxes, just deregulation, small government, big one, you cannot afford to gatekeep. You cannot afford to nitpick and to bitch and moan how they're not living the way that you might want them to. It doesn't fucking matter. We cannot afford to alienate our allies.
I thought we were supposed to unify.
We are supposed to unify. I have never seen the RNC so unified since 9/11. This is just the religious, and specifically the religious conservative. And I say I have background in religious conservatism. I'm not bashing it, but people like Matt. It is hilarious how like people like Matt Walsh will snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Coincidentally, the title of my video, because they don't adhere specifically to Matt Walsh's statement of faith, to Matt Walsh's moral compass. Now, I get it that I get his suspicions with this lady. I do, because back in March, I was willing to steel man a little bit, because back in March, she was the one bragging. She was bragging about the Satanist church being of a benefit to society because they were sponsoring people's abortions. Okay, I get his suspicion about that. Have suspicions about... Yes, I mean, this woman also sponsored the slut walk. So, I mean, she is no shining example of like positive conservative Christian values, but she doesn't have to be. All she has to believe in is the principles of America first, and you are our ally, because that's as American as it gets. It kind of doesn't matter where you come from. Do you share the same values as I do in regards to government and liberty? If you don't, then I will gatekeep you. But if you do share those values, I want you in my corner, please. We can bicker about the small stuff later.
Matt Walsh
I mean,
is
if
just
there's going to be a
coming
purity
across
test, you have to be a Bible thumping fucking ultra right wing conservative. Then
100%.
We're going to have Biden and then everyone else that follows until there's nothing left, until it's
and there is room for that, because you do need a kind of religious backbone. You do need a kind of a moral framework to operate under, kind of. But it just depends. When you're dealing with voting, this is a political conversion, not a religious conversion. The two are not married, but unfortunately, people like Matt Walsh tie in religious conversions and political conversions. They make them the same thing. They are not the same thing. Brandon Straka is a perfect example of this. He founded the Walk Away movement. Isn't he a gay guy? I don't think he's a Christian.
Oh yeah, he's flaming.
He is a flaming gay, and I don't care. Gays against groomers, same thing. They're
amazing hair.
Yeah, they all have amazing hair. It's kind of funny, but like, you don't. She has no hair, but like, I mean, she's kind of hot, I guess. But sure, I don't think I would. But the fact is, nitpick about this stuff. Oh yeah, face fat too. I forgot. But like, nitpick about the small stuff later. If you share our values on government and politics, then yes, then absolutely come to my side. Doesn't mean I have to go to church with you, or he'll probably go to church. She probably won't, and that's okay. You don't have to adhere to Matt Walsh's specific religious component, and that's not how the entire country works. There is no established church. There is no established moral code. You have to abide by the law, and that is as secular as you can possibly get while still maintaining freedom.
My best friend, my adopted brother, devout Christian. His faith is first and foremost, above everything. But yet he still wholly accepts me and my beliefs and my doubts and faith and all that stuff. He wishes it was different, but he understands where I'm coming from, and he accepts me and loves me for who I am. To me, that is what real Christianity is. What Matt Walsh represents is not true Christianity. What he's representing is some elitist cult that just wants everyone to adhere to their moral framework, to adhere to their beliefs, and step in line with their grand design.
Yeah, it's dogmatism. And unfortunately, Melanie Mack kind of also got involved in this too. And she was also parsing through and saying, like, Harmeet Dillon, probably one of the most prominent conservative lawyers in the past, 2 decades, is somehow not welcome because she prayed in the mode of her specific religion, which is Sikhism, at the RNC. She's claiming it's worshiping demons. I'm like, for God's sake, woman, could you just? It's a prayer of blessing. It's not a prayer of division. It's not a curse. Why are you nitpicking about this? I'm sorry, Melanie. I think you're wrong on this.
She's.
Prayer to a demon. Jesus.
There we go. Yeah, I was muted because the dogs were barking. But yeah, Melanie Mack had the same take Matt Walsh did about Amber Rose. That's her name.
Almost
and then she got real pearl clutchy about this one making a Sikh. I think that's a religion she is.
Sikh, yeah.
Sikh, yeah.
Which again, like you can. Sorry,
I didn't think this was a church. This isn't like a Baptist church event. This is to elevate votes, right?
This is a political gathering.
Is that like a gang? The guys from New York, they're like from the Warriors. They're all wearing hats, and they're from New York. They're like the gang from the Warriors.
They're all wearing sleeveless leather vests.
Yeah, sleeveless leather vests, cowboy hats. They're like, oh, it's the Cowboys. Here comes the Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Where was the convention at anyway?
That was my question.
Milwaukee,
actually.
Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of hats from Milwaukee. Interesting.
Well, no, that's everyone from. That's all the delegates and everything from each state.
Oh,
all
okay. So
groups
they're
up in
all
their own individual sections. So you have New
That
York to the
one-
left. You can see the sign in front of all of them is West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure this is
Yeah, I
just the
think that was
angle from probably
Texas.
where like Texas or something is along this line here,
Yeah.
or Oklahoma. It's one of those.
Hell yeah.
Let's just. I just want to zoom into Melanie Mac's face.
I think she's just butthurt. She didn't get an invite.
Well, apparently it was kind of chaos. Jeremy from the recording was saying there's the area where all of the influencers, I guess, are cordoned off. It's just all an open bar, and you got a bunch of idiot girls who are using it to promote their Instagram. And he's just like, I had to leave. He left. He didn't even hear exactly. Like just that's the type of thing you want to gatekeep, because you want to know, are you a serious journalist? Are you actually here to report, or are you just here to self promote? The two can coexist. But with Jeremy, he's already got a following, so he's there to report. Same thing with JJ Cobra, Ryan Kinnell. They're there to report.
I think this was the RNC's first time actually embracing the independent media, and they didn't really know how to handle it, because we've never seen them actually turn towards them before. It's always been from the outside in, and this time we had Tim Pool in there, we had the Quartering, we had Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers in there. There was tons of independent media there, and even Cenk Uygur, he was there, but the Young Turks didn't actually have a setup booth like freaking any of the networks do, where the networks have whole ass buildings. Rumble had a room cordoned off for them and their broadcast, but still, it was the first time the RNC, this archaic geriatric convention of freaking old timey conservatives, finally embracing independent media, because they realized that this is what's been carrying them this far. And with Trump having gone this route and Vivek having made his name known utilizing them, I think this was like their time to do it, and they just didn't get it right because they still don't know how to handle independent media.
Yeah.
And I seriously believe that the DNC will handle it even way worse.
Oh yeah, it'll be a shit show.
Go ahead, Iron.
Real quick, Jack's got a dip. He's having some mic issues, so we'll all wish Jack a good night. Go follow JackTarLad on X, JackTarLad on YouTube, JackTarLad everywhere where you can find JackTarLad. There he is. And goodbye, Jack.
You have a wonderful night, my favorite Brit.
Thanks for filling in as co-host tonight, man.
Hey, that's insulting. Isn't that insulting?
Bye, Jack.
I think he was waiting for one of us to give him the scissor back. So.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
What do you think about all this, Matt? I'm curious about your thoughts on it.
I thought it was really weird. Do I have anything against Amber Heard? No, I don't really have anything against her at all.
You mean Amber Rose? Because
either one. I don't give a fuck about either one of them.
I was thinking her name was Amber Heard too. I get mixed up.
Yeah, I kept saying that.
I mean,
hey, this chick with the shaved head's actually way more attractive.
Is that like I think she was responsible for creating one of Kanye's best albums, 808 Heartbreaks. I think was all about her, and I think that's
no shit.
Yeah, it was that whole album is his whole relationship with her. Like the whole like, why you gotta be a RoboCop? You fucking insane chick. Like it was all
broke him.
Yeah, that shit just like that shit broke his mind. And
yeah, Matt Bahr's blacker than me.
That dog will not door close, Selena.
And it's like, do I want her to vote Republican? Do I want her to be there? Absolutely. I just feel like there's probably somebody else who is like a better representation of like the new Republican, rather than somebody who's not like just flashing ass for cash. Because I don't really know anything. I don't know like if she has any products. I don't know what movies she's been in. I don't know like what charities she's run. And that's I guess that's my fault, but I haven't looked into it, because if I go to her Instagram, I'm seeing her ass and tits, and I'm not really interested in seeing that.
I honestly don't.
And I'm not knocking her for her grind. That's her fucking grind. But it's like for the RNC, for like the national thing, like if you want to pan over and show her in the fucking booth, like go for it. But I'm sure there could have been like an entrepreneur, or maybe fucking Killer Mike, or some other fucking person who like has like done something and has been like, you know what, I've been grinding and fucking I thought Trump was a kook and now he's not, and I'm fucking Jay-Z. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing, but I feel like out of a country of, I don't know, 4 or 5 billion people, we could have found like somebody better than fucking Amber Rose. I feel like we could have had somebody better than fucking ball with a ball but dang a dang motherfucker. I feel like where the fuck is this dude? Like everybody's got white balls, right?
I think that's what it is. They're not they're still too afraid to speak up.
Hulk Hogan shows up with fucking white balls. The other dude shows up with white balls. Amber Rose shows up. Her head looks like a white ball. Just a bunch of fucking.
I will say
balls.
The first night of speakers wasn't actually anyone that claimed to be a Republican, nor new Republicans. They just were rallying behind the message that Trump was pushing with America First, and that was very evident with the final speaker of that night, with the Teamsters, O'Brien.
Yeah.
He said that the Teamsters are not beholden to either party, but they're endorsing Trump. So it was more of a fact that people are rallying behind him, and that all the people that night were just saying like, we aren't Republicans, but we realize what was good for this country.
That's good. That first night, that's what you get. That first night, you get,
that's what it was. And
you
I
get
think
the different unions. You get the, hey, we're the Border Patrol Union of Officers. Yeah. We're here. We're fucking giving our endorsement. That's the evening of endorsements, where all these different, organizations are stepping forward and saying that they're endorsing. And then the second evening, you're narrowing it down to like specific people. I mean, let me tell you something, brother. I mean, okay, whatever. They're friends. They're friends from WWF. Okay, but once they were like, "Hey, we're bringing out the fucking ball with the ball dang guy," I was like, "Yeah, I gotta."
I will say,
I'm gonna go play Fortnite. I ain't watching this.
They probably
shit.
went a little too heavy on the celebrity payload for the speeches, but.
Yeah,
it's better than having a whole bunch of politicians and union reps doing nothing but speaking.
I agree. Maybe somebody from tech, maybe from the tech field.
Well, I don't think.
I'm just speculating. I mean,
they were. I'm sure they would have loved to have Elon.
Hollywood,
at the last minute,
Wesley Snipes. How about some Wesley Snipes? I don't know. I mean,
that would have been fine.
Well, what's interesting about that? Sorry, go ahead.
If 50 Cent wasn't going to get beat up by Chelsea Handler, he probably would have shown up.
Shit. I bet you he beat that little kitty up.
And he's paying the price ever since.
Well, dude, she reminds everybody. She's like a vegan with that fucking BBC. She's just like, hey, I'm Chelsea Handler. Just want to let you know. I just remember I was fucking 50 Cent, just FYI. It was like, yeah, I got it. I got you.
And I still couldn't get pregnant.
Well, to be fair.
Because he probably...
She could be his mother at this point.
Okay. Too many jokes running through my head at one time. I'm just not going to acknowledge any of them.
Yeah, you don't want to get them crisscrossed.
Right.
I was like, he was trying to impregnate her face the whole time. Doesn't really work like that, Chelsea. They gotta.
Oh man, well, we're right at
yeah, baby, I know they just swallow it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna milk this for all it's worth, and then I'm gonna mention it to everybody.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll just share some quick meme, the videos, get a palate cleanse in, and we'll call it a night. So first thing I'm gonna bring up is one shared by JackTarLad, since he's not here with us. Let me get that real quick here.
What's up, Mr. Burger?
Hey, Mr. Burger.
Hey.
Mr. Burger.
Mr. Burger.
Message me if we're still on for next week, man. All right, so it's on YouTube Shorts. These are always harder to share, so give me a second.
Gosh, touch my foot. Hurry up. Oh, gross.
Oh, I love KLR.
You know that it hit you. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, touch my foot. Hurry up. Oh, it's literally an embarrassment to our species. You know that it hit you.
I love KLR Productions. It's full of this just color commentating animal behavior, and it's brilliant. That him and Dusty M. Douglas are just gods of this sphere.
Oh, hold on.
There's an entire subgenre. There's so many people that do the animating animals. It's great.
Sorry,
There's another one for-
Bing
there's another
check.
one
Which
from-
building? The only building. Bing check.
Another one from
Bing check. Which building? The only building in front of the stage. Ah, that building. Maybe not. How maybe not? You think it's necessary? I see a guy moving on the roof. Ah, the usual guys. Boss is very suspicious. He might be doing a parkour. He's lie down flat on his stomach, probably resting after doing parkour. He's looking towards Trump. Maybe the Trump fan tried to get a better view of him. Okay, pull out a rifle. A rifle. Definitely a rifle. Can you tell if it's a real rifle? I don't know if it's fake, and we are worrying for nothing. It's a real rifle. Very strange. Boss, awaiting your orders. Do you see any clay pigeon shooting devices? I don't think he's practicing shooting clay pigeons. We need to be sure, Frank. Boss, now he's aiming towards Trump. Can you see his expression? What expression? His facial expression. He seems to be mad. I don't know, boss. Or is he looking at him admirably? I can't tell. Maybe it's just using the rifle scope to get a better look. Boss, if we don't act now, he will shoot him. Stay calm, Frank. I don't think. He's shooting, boss. Holy cow. He's still shooting. What do I do? Are you sure you don't see any clay pigeons around? No clay pigeons. All right. In that case, fire a warning shot immediately.
Well, that was pretty accurate, actually. All right, and this
That
one's
was
from Strider.
definitely from Sweden.
Gnarly fucked up.
Let me just bring this in here.
There's another one I put up with Elmo that was funny. This is yeah.
It's Friday, and we need to forget what happened at all this week. Need to forget it all. Let's go get shit-faced. Yeah!
I love this guy too. I follow him too.
Oh my god, you remember when Elmo asked how everyone was doing that today and X just unloaded?
Okay, and always my favorite to share is Vagabond.
Oh, Flash gets. What are we in for?
Millennium, much more worthy of me. Our duel shall ring down the ages.
Ew.
Huh. Oh, but of course. I should have known you couldn't be defeated so easily. Let us do again.
Oh, fuck, it's Kai Sinat. All right, that's okay. You can't possibly be as bad as everyone says.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay, look. See how I wind up my attack? Just wait a beat before dodging. Got it? Pow! Okay, look. I'm not meant to do this, but how about I just miss on purpose? Listen, Kai, I can't keep doing this, man. I heard the stories. 433 tries to beat Melania. And then they say you only won because you drove her to insanity. Please don't take my mind from me, Kai. I want to die with dignity. Look, Hungar, attack me and I'll just let it happen. No! What are you doing? Okay, it's clear you're mentally challenged. I'll just do it myself.
Yo, did we got slain? Hey, yo, chat, he killed himself. Hell no, we gotta earn this, chat.
Huh? What? No!
Welcome to hell.
Can't they just make an easy mode already? God, this is such bullshit.
Put a pause button in.
Really, you're still gonna try to defeat me? No! If I'm gonna suffer, so will you. Huh?
Damn, Porsche kind of cracked though.
More cartoons right here.
Oh man!
Oh, man.
Oh my god!
I can't wait for
You guys
I
gotta
can't
subscribe
wait for
with
the
Flash
Furry
Gift.
Crusades to continue.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Next up, I think we got
my
this guy's
doozy.
great too.
There we go.
Bar none.
I love this guy.
Bro, look at this. The fuck's the inner world? She talking about the box the kid came in. What? You know, that's 3D printer. The Cave of Wonders. Fuck juice? Oh! Dude, no, I don't think she's talking about the click canoe. Why not? What else is inside of her? Dick? Because what guy's gonna say no to a free tour to the Meow Meow Juice Factory? Clay Aiken? Harry Styles? Diddy, probably. Nice. Listen, but I still don't think that's what she's talking about. I think she's like talking about feelings and shit. Are you fuck? Then why the fuck doesn't she just say that? Fuck if I know. Probably read it in a spell book or some shit. Or, you know, maybe she read it in a horoscope or some shit, you know? Got that spiritual psychosis thing going on? That's fair. But I think the question she was actually asking is, hey, honey, do you feed into my delusions? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Which, with my background in geometry, I think is a fair answer. You were so close. Yo, bro, look at this.
Okay. And we'll end it on mine. After seeing this video, I was convinced that we need to start a GoFundMe to send Strider to Korea to find his next wife.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I will single-handedly repopulate Japan if that's what it takes. We need their culture, please.
Shinzo Abe would be proud.
Yeah. I could not be more turned on. No, I'm really turned on. Damn it!
Somehow,
it's like
I just knew
weird
that was
anime cartoon posing. It's very odd.
Dude,
Oh,
forget
she doesn't
Strider.
look
Send
real.
me.
I'll send both. We'll
We're having
start
a whole
mutual
country between
GoFundMe.
us two. We'll be like the Paul brothers, except not assholes.
I'll take north. You take south.
Sure.
No, I'm going up in there.
Bravery.
Okay, fine. You
Johnny
take.
Somali ruined my chances.
Oh God, I forgot about him.
All right, we are gonna wrap it up here, guys. We're gonna end on our special guest here, Matt. Thank you so much for coming in, man. I hope you had a good time.
I
You
did.
got
Thanks
anything to
for having
plug?
me.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome back.
No, other than my channel, no, that's about it. My YouTube channel. Mondays doing a show called Freaking Awesome. That's about it. I'll let you know if
All
we
right,
got it.
dude.
If when my the Rock and Roll Ninja 2 campaign will go live, but it's not going to go live until we have like a good amount of work done, so it's not late. But once that gets announced, you know, I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, definitely come back for that.
Not late books. That sounds like that's a
Yeah, man.
best plan I've ever.
Books
Hell
that
yeah.
actually come out. What a novel concept.
Yeah.
No, now can you go back and get the previous Rock and Roll Ninja fairly easily? Because
It's sold out. So
Oh.
we're gonna do another. We're gonna do like another run, a second run at the end of the summer.
Awesome.
Okay,
So he's got a bunch of other things that he's trying to get done, and so once he gets those done, he's gonna come back around and do a second run because people are asking for it, you know. And
Hell
I
yeah,
had
we look
3
forward to that.
copies, and now I only got 2 copies. I made my parents buy copies, but yeah.
all right, man. We'll just do a quick around the horn. Nemesis, you got anything you want to plug before we go?
Come check me out. I am Nemesystemic on Twitch, at Nemesystemic on YouTube. I stream Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1:30ish p.m. Just living the, not really living the dream, but trying to make it. So one day we'll figure out this
Making
EDM
dreams
producer
happen.
thing.
Vagabond, you got anything coming up, man?
Nothing much. I just need to make videos, honestly. But you'll see me on Twitter or angering other black folks or whatever. But so I'm just the friendly neighborhood Uncle Tom or the friendly neighborhood Uncle Vagabond, whatever you like to call me. But but yeah, I'm pretty much just floating around. I'm here every Friday, and you'll see me whenever, or you might see me around the country or whatever.
Right on. Just try not to fly Frontier anymore, man.
Oh man, they got the cheapest
Ah,
tickets.
it's Spirit all the way for him.
There's a reason for that.
Strider, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I just did a video today, which I mentioned before, Snatching Defeat from the Jaws of Victory. Definitely go check that out. So this Saturday, or tomorrow, I keep forgetting today's Friday, I'm going to be on with Full Metal Nate. We're doing the D&D stream, The Curse of Strahd Part 2. So we are now fully in the middle of the shit, and I'm lubing up parts of myself in order for him to destroy me. So
you guys are making good progress through Curse of Strahd.
We just got on the other side of the mist. We just started out, so now it's in full swing, and he's warned us that I've got a lot of fun stuff going. But he does it with this little sentiment. So I don't really trust that it's going to be very fun. I think it's going to be brutal. It's going to be fun. It's going to be brutal. We're going to earn it.
I can send you some videos that'll really screw with him. All right, so.
Oh no, that'll probably screw with me too. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Be on with Darnell Quigley and of course Full Metal Nate and a couple other new faces. So we already had a blast the first time around. So this one's gonna be good. And then you can find me on Monday nights at MSK stream.
Oh yeah, and MSK will be streaming later tonight. Go check him out. And once again, Matt, thank you so much for coming on.
Man, thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's been a pleasure, man.
We're kind of new, but you're welcome to come back anytime you feel like it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, and we're gonna call it a night there. To everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you, guys.
Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody.
I'll be back.